A super studious guy moves into a temple. The catch? He doesn't believe in the gods, so there's gonna be clashes with three sisters who are priestesses there. It'll be kinda messy at first, especially with situations that get him in trouble and make him look like a perv. But the ending's plot twist? Total mind blown. So come with me for another romance, harem flick. Hit like if you enjoy it, sub to the channel. Alright, let's get to it. He says that matrimony is one of the ties that bind humans. For each person, there's a destined connection, a link to family, friends, to home. That's how the three girls appear. Our protagonist wakes up and heads to the temple where his new life begins. Two women watch the student walking with a book in hand, thinking he's super cute. He must be asking the gods to help him pass his entrance exam. Thing is, he doesn't believe in deities, though he knows coming to a shrine without faith is kinda contradictory. So with his suitcase, he enters the house next to the temple. "Excuse me," he calls out, saying he's Hattori and moving in starting today. But no one answers him, so he figures the head priest's super old, probably didn't hear right. Just then, he hears girls chatting behind the door, talking about finding clothes and socks. When Kami Hat goes to open it, he freezes cause he notices they're changing. Almost had a weird incident, and he'd be labeled a creep who peeps on girls. Then one swings the door open. She's half naked right in his face. Dude hits the floor in shock, sees all three in bras, and starts nosebleeding. Classic trope. They slam the door. Moods mega awkward. Kami Hat'll just pretend he saw nothing. But now they come out dressed and hurl salt at him. He's clueless. The redhead demands more salt to purify the degenerate evil creature. The green-haired one says they gotta look after him, all sweet-like. The blue-haired girl's shocked people still get nosebleeds from excitement nowadays. Phew. Our Hat realizes they're the priestesses. Later, everyone's seated, and he explains he's basically moving in with them today. His name's Uryu, 17-year-old high schooler, says it's nice to meet him. But the redhead's not having any of it. Living with a perv? Kami Hat already apologized tons for that. She's hung up on him seeing a sacred priestess's nude bod. Uryu explained it was an accident. She says if he's not ashamed, her sister tries calming things down, changing the subject. Uryu asks where the head priest is. Green hair answers he's back tomorrow. She asks if Uryu's really a high school sophomore. He says yeah. She's the oldest. Name's Yamagi, 20-year-old college girl. Says he can ask her for help anytime. The other sister says despite being oldest, Ya's the most childish. Ya hates that dig. The youngest hopes she'll get spoiled lots. She plops next to him, says he can treat her like a little sis. Here starts the crimes of this perverted Japa. Her name's Asari, 14. Uryu doesn't get this whole little sis thing with him. She says it's fine, they're living together now anyway. Hold up, he's just staying at Gramps' place, so none of that. And I says he can relax, no need to be shy. The redhead hasn't accepted him as family yet. She always hated the idea of a guy living here. Her name's Yuna, 17-year-old high schooler. And I tells her not to be so stiff. But she doesn't care. Uryu says that's better anyway. He's just crashing. Here, not playing happy family. As long as he gets peace to study, it's all good. For now, Yuna'll keep an eye on the guy. Says he better behave if he wants food. She purposely messes up his name to annoy him. Ah, here's where the real love sprouts. They clash hard at first, but then comes the crazy part. Yu starts tossing his underwear around. Uryu tells her to stop, slips on the underwear, and falls right on top of her. Ara, what's this troublesome situation? This damn horn dog's gone wild, she says. Uryu got 0 studying done that day. He goes to wash his face, sees a light on, checks it out. It's just Ayuna sleeping on the floor with no blanket, sneezing. He grabs a blanket to cover her, but then she wakes up and yells at the pervert to get off her. Now both sisters rush in, slam the door shut, and apologize for interrupting. Asari says he wants all three and wants to do pervy stuff. Uryu says it's all a huge misunderstanding, just believe him. Later he asks Yuna what she was doing up so late. She was making handmade charms for visitors. Asari says she always does, everything alone and should ask for help. Yuna won't let the guy touch them. His dirty hands might ruin their sacred power. He asks if it's really for visitors. She asks what the problem is if it is. Uryu doesn't get why the effort if she makes no money. I says, see? He's just an unfriendly perv. He judged too fast. I says, this shrine helps guarantee exam success. The cool part? It's that special time of year when miracles happen. The starry rain that grants wishes. Uryu thinks it's super cheesy for a special time of year. According to an old legend, on spring nights when stars fall, if you bathe in the stardust rain, your wish comes true if you pray to the gods daily. Yuna's sure someday her prayers will be heard, and a miracle will happen. Uryu thinks it's ridiculous. This time of year, meteor showers are small scale, so they burn up in the atmosphere before hitting Earth. If a meteor did hit the atmosphere, you'd be killed by the impact, not bathed in stardust. Boom. Dead. Uryu doesn't get why anyone believes such childish, unscientific stuff. Look at Mr. Atheist preaching, huh? Oh, here we go. Yuna's about to curse a doll so his nosebleed never stops. She's super pissed. I tries to stop her, saying curses actually work during the witching hour. Saraya thinks he's funny, just wants to see what happens next. Next day, visitors come to the temple. Uryu says prayers and charms? Nah, that stuff doesn't work. Nothing changes with that. But people keep visiting shrines anyway. Yuna's struggling hard, trying to speak English to a tourist. A little kid still wants to give her a charm. So Uryu steps in, helps hand over the gift. The foreigner gets it, happily accepts, and leaves with her dad. Uryu says she needs to improve her English, cause loads of foreigners come every year. If Yuna wants, he can even teach her. Just English, though. Proud as ever, she says she didn't ask for help, but thanks him anyway. From now on, she'll try harder with English. Then a strong wind hits. A bird flies off, snatching Yuna's red string. She remembers when her mom gave all three sisters these red strings, the only tie they have to their late mom. It's the treasure of the three sisters. The sun's setting, nobody found the bird with the string. Yuna apologizes, saying it's her fault. They'll search more tomorrow. She's sure the deities will guide them. Uryu's kinda mad. They're just waiting for divine help. How can Yuna be so calm losing something so important? He doesn't believe deities guide anyone. Wishes only come true if you make them happen, not by praying. It's not some god or someone else making your dreams real. It's you. He remembers, praying as a kid. Yuna says he's wrong. Deities never abandon those who pray for help. The whole creationism versus evolutionism beef is on. Yuna leaves, saying he doesn't belong there. Later in his room, Uryu mutters if they can't get along, maybe they shouldn't be near each other. Ai asks to come in a bit. She enters, but he's gone. She hugs Sari, freaking out the deities took Uryu away. Sari comforts her, calls her the family baby, no helping it. Ai says she doesn't know how to make Uryu and Yuna get along. Maybe it's just too hard. Meanwhile, Rita's snooping in his suitcase again for naughty mags. Sari says it's not the time. It's a delicate boy topic. They find a photo of little Uryu with his mom in the hospital. Sari says their grandpa told them about Uryu's situation. A says Uryu lost his mom super young. His only family. Grew up in an orphanage. They figure he must have prayed every day back then, judging by the charms in the photo. Sari says because Uryu's mom died, he stopped believing in deities, thinks he has to do everything alone. Only then can he reach his goals. That's why he wants to be a doctor. She says it'll be okay. Yuna and Uryu are more alike than they think. Not honest about feelings, but softies inside. Uryu's outside, all dirty and scratched up, searching for the bird's nest that stole the string. It won't be easy to find, but he can't quit now. He remembers Yuna's words about prayers being answered, and Yuna is running through the woods searching too. Then she spots Uryu, and he's actually praying for her to find her treasure. She's overjoyed. She joins him praying, says speaking wishes aloud is a good move. Uryu's mortified she heard everything. He apologizes for what he said earlier. Yuna apologizes too for being so harsh. She says he kinda passed the requirements to live at a shrine now. The other sisters find them. Ai, all innocent, says it's great they return to the world of the living. Sari teases that two young folks alone at night were obviously having a romantic fling. Heh, now all four head home. Sari's starving to death, and I says they can search for the string later too. Yuna says they already made their wish to the deities. Then, with the wind blowing, Uryu sees the wish-granting star rain falling alongside cherry blossom petals, a truly stunning sight. He snaps out of it, says it's just meteor showers coinciding with the petals, sees nothing miraculous. Yuna calls him a total buzzkill. Sari says stiff guys like him get rejected in speed dating. Uryu tells her she doesn't need to put it like that. Yuna says this view must look beautiful, like a miracle, to Uryu. He admits, maybe a little. Sari says living with three hot sisters is a miracle. And we see the red string right there near them. Uryu says if this is it, they've seen better. We see another priestess sitting at the temple gate. Then the red string falls right onto Yuna's head. The miracle actually happened. Later back home, Ai says it was tough for them running the whole temple, but what matters is it's sorted. Uryu hopes he won't be a bother from now on. Shido, the grandpa, says since he came to get married, no need to worry about shrine succession after he dies. Uryu's shocked. Married? They're confused too. He asks who he's marrying. The priest says, one of my lovely granddaughters, of course. Uryu knew nothing about this marriage deal. He came just to study. The granddaughters also wanted to know about this sooner. But the priest plays dumb. Uryu says he'll become a doctor, not inherit a shrine. Shido says he can be a priest as a side hustle. Perfect. Honestly, Uryu wants none of it, says he won't accept this. So the old man drops an ultimatum. Refuse the deal, no transfer to a high-acceptance mid-school prep school, and no place to stay and study. Uryu faceplants dramatically, thanking them profusely. What an ungrateful little punk, he mutters. He'll just go along for now. Maybe the old geezer forgets the marriage bit. The three sisters hold a secret meeting about this mess the old man caused. Who will Uryu marry? Grandpa didn't even ask what they thought of the guy. Yuna can't marry him even if he's nice. They never even dated. Now they've got a massive headache figuring out how an atheist runs a shrine. Makes zero sense. But Gramps loves this idea. Now starts Yuna's plan to test Uryu and corner him. First test, cooking. Yuna says living together means chores. The guy heads to cook, opens the fridge. Sees almost nothing inside. All part of Yuna's plan to make him fail, but backfire. Uryu whips up an amazing, tasty meal. I say she's incredible. A master chef. Since that test failed, he'll get back to studying. But not before. Operation 2. Laundry. Yuna thought he'd quit since they have no dryer. Too much work for Uryu. But Ai remembers. He's washing their underwear too. Yuna hadn't thought of that. Yet, he hangs their underwear on the line calmly. Totally used to housework. Sari's amazed he's so used to it. He even folds the three sisters' clothes perfectly. Total husband material. Gramps was right. Yuna says now comes the supreme task. Cleaning Big Sis's room. He gets there. The place is a natural disaster zone. Stuff everywhere, canvases, paint tubes. Of course she's an arts major. The true challenge for the med student. He doesn't even know where to start. Something stinks. The oil paints from Ya, the art student uni girl. The guy somehow manages the epic feat of cleaning the whole room, but is totally wiped out. Ya tells Yuna to drop the marriage thing for now. The guy cleans and cooks? Perfect. So Uryu says, goodbye, thanks them for everything, but if doing chores means less study time, he's out. He leaves the house to chase his dreams. Sari says, it's been a pleasure, and thanks everyone for watching. That felt like the series finale. Ai says it was always the plan for him to leave anyway. Uryu's on the train, studying like always, and the three Amagami sisters followed him. Yuna won't admit why, but is worried about Uryu, calling him a waste of good help. Her conscience would feel heavy doing nothing. She wonders why he pushes so hard to be a doctor. Is there a reason beyond? His mom? They follow him to a kinda shady, creepy place. Crows on the roof. Looks like a haunted mansion. A's terrified. She can't believe Uryu lives in this rundown place just 'cause he got kicked out. Uryu sneaks up behind Ai, scaring her. The girl starts hurling salt at him. He's surrounded by kids, one asking for food, another clinging to him asking who the girls are, and two others commenting on Ya's chest size. Then a woman arrives, seeing Uryu's back at the orphanage. With 3 gorgeous girls? Player, she says. I'm Mahiru Necrode, doctor and manager of the Kakik foster home. She thanks the sisters so much for taking care of Ryu and hosting him. Mahiru thinks they're way too pretty to marry Ryu. That boy has zero charm. All he does is study, yet somehow manages to be cute. He really wants to be a doctor, always copying Mahiru's steps, wanting into Kyoto Uni too. She starts to tell the real reason he wants to be a doc, but Uryu cuts her off. He doesn't want to hear about himself. Uryu doesn't get why Mahiru agreed to let him marry one of the 3. The guy doesn't want to go back to the shrine, so Mahiru, pissed, covers his mouth, saying someday he has to leave the orphanage, and she worked hard to find him a nice place. So the little guy better behave. The kids show Uryu the paper grows they're making. Just then arrives Uryu's childhood friend, Shira Tsuruyama, 17, who used to live at Kakik. She's here just to play with the kids. Ai greets her and Sari teases the quiet girl, calling her Maria Macho, tomboy Maria. This youngest sister has no filter. The grows the kids are making are for their parents. Kakik home is for kids whose parents are sick or hurt and can't care for them. That's why they decided to make origami to give to their families. Sari thinks it's super sweet and bets the parents will love them. Uryu starts up again, calling making Lucky Charms a waste of time. Yuna gets mad, stands up, saying that among all Lucky Charms, the 1,000 grow origami are special. She tells the kids to ignore the idiot, cause everyone together will fold with them. Mahiru says the sisters are good girls. Uryu thinks they're a pain, for sure. Later he sees the 3 are terrible at origami. One makes crumpled trains, another over-decorates and complicates things, and Ai hasn't made any, just goofing off beautifully. Even the kids complain they didn't help at all. Like this they won't finish the grows. They ask Uryu for help. He practically made the 1,000 interlocked grows himself. The true genius, though he just worked for others today, studied nothing. One specific boy doesn't know if this will really help his mom get better. Ryuva, Uryu, is very dear to him. When younger, Ryu took 1,000 grows to his sick mom. So Uryu goes to him, says the grows will help. The doctors will see everyone's effort and treat their parents even better. Leaving the boy and other kids reassured. Mahiru shares that when Uryu was little, he made thousands and thousands of grows for his mom. That's why he knows how these kids feel now. And Ai says it's for them Uryu wants so badly to be a doctor. His friend Shira says he can be kinda rude. But when you're down and need someone, he'll be there to help. He's a good guy. Dr. Mahiru asks the Amagami sisters to take good care of Ryu. She asks later why Uryu ditched his shrine maiden housemates and came back to the foster home. Uryu tells her to stop the vulgarity. They gave him housework chores. No time to study. Mahiru says it's not like that. He was always a kid who did everything alone. If he thinks he's unwelcome at the shrine, he's wrong. The sisters followed him all this way worried. And he's not the type to quit over some chores. Remember childhood, Uryu? How hard Mahiru worked caring for kids and washing clothes, all alone? And then Uryu offered to wash clothes and watch the little ones. But Dr. Mahiru is pretty greedy and likes doing everything herself. Didn't want to ruin Uryu's childhood. He won't quit the shrine over some little chores. He'll do it all solo if needed. Sari and the others say he must be in love with Mahiru. Walking the same path as her is cool. Uryu hears this and gets annoyed. She's way older. No way that's happening. Even if she doesn't seem to age thanks to anime effect. He says since it's come to this, he'll do the housework. But Yuna says if they leave everything to him, they'll get lazy. So the 3 will help. After all, they live under the same roof. They're a family, Uryu thanks them. But back home, things take a turn. He is grateful for their chore efforts, but they're awful at everything. Clothes fall off the line, manga clogs rooms meant for cleaning, and Ai takes a millennium making breakfast, busy thanking the gods for ingredients. The guy can't take it. He'll have to do everything himself. Old man Shidu pops in, says it's good he's getting used to being the man of the house. Happy about it. Uryu hopes he's doing okay and figures Gramps will forget the marriage thing eventually. Just then, the priest says he's so pleased he's arranging closer bonding time. Uryu will have a formal marriage meeting with each granddaughter. Shido says arranged marriage meetings are a solemn, ancient Japanese tradition, so take it super seriously. Meeting time. The guy figures the sisters hate this too. Entering the room, Sari greets him with all the formal meeting greetings, thanking him for this chance. This whole day is dedicated to the third daughter and Uryu. He was sure none wanted this, but Sari seems thrilled. Shido leaves the youngsters alone to enjoy privacy. Uryu asks if they're really okay with this forced meeting. Asahi says if they have to do it, might as well have fun and keep it light. Then she hints maybe Uryu really wanted this date with her. Uryu calls that a bad joke. Sari gets close, whispers, "Finally alone," and starts taking off her kimono. She says she wants to do something with him. An outdoor run. Super chill. They head out for a spring jog. Uryu doesn't get where this arranged meeting vibe went. Sari says she loves running. It's like breathing. Talks like a pro athlete. Uryu says he's surprised by her. He figured all three were slackers who just played around. Sari takes that as an insult. Says she should have left him in the dust. Uryu scoffs a little middle schooler can't beat him in endurance. 3 hours later. The guy's dying. 2 more hours. He can't believe he lost to a 14-year-old. He needs a bath to wash off all the sweat and stink. But opening the bathroom door, Sari's there naked in front of him. He slams the door shut fast. What shamelessness, not locking it? She says she likes it open. At 5:10 a.m., he wakes up after solid sleep, grumbling his study schedule's wrecked, all Sari's fault. The girl lying next to him says, "At least he got great sleep." Heh. He freaks out seeing the girl. She came to his room at dawn to continue the arranged meeting. Uryu asks what she wants this early. Asohi, before her morning run, wants to find her extra running shoes in the storage shed. That's the date? Nah, this is just work she's forcing him to do. They gotta tell Grandpa the meeting went fine. Entering the shed and seeing the mess, finding those shoes is like a needle in a haystack. Asohi says it's super romantic, 2 young folks alone in the shed at night. Imagine getting locked in. Uryu says that's just delusional teasing. But the fantasy becomes reality. A strong wind slams the door shut. It's old. A hard slam locks it easy. Uryu can't believe the romance manga cliché happened to him. Screaming won't help now. Everyone's asleep. Sari starts trembling, faking bravery. "You're alone with a pretty girl." He realizes she left the bathroom door open, 'cause she's scared of tight spaces like this. Sari pretends she's not scared, but she's shaking like a leaf, saying she's very adult. Uryu comforts her, says she can hold onto his back if scared. She does just that while he tries to pry nails off the wooden window to escape. Morning arrives. He finally manages it. Tells her to wait. He'll jump down quick and open the door. She sees his hands are all scraped and calloused. Uryu hesitates to jump, 'cause he's scared of heights, but goes for it. Opens the door finally. She says quick took quite a while. Leaving, Sari thanks him for the help. He says, apologies accepted, sarcastically. Had to run a marathon and got locked up. But now he knows deep down, Sari's actually a sweet girl. That just makes her blush. Love is blooming. Her sisters run over, worried she was out all night, asking if she's okay. She says the older ones are overreacting, flips back to her sassy persona. "I'll never forget last night with Uryu." The other 2 immediately think he did something monstrous to her. Ai starts throwing salt at him again. Thought he was decent, but nope. Now it's time for the meeting with the second daughter. He braces for whatever craziness she has in store, but Yuna greets him with thanks, asking him to consider her a worthy marriage candidate. This is so off-script for Uryu. They take a little walk around the temple. Yuna's acting all gentle, total personality flip. She makes small talk, asks what he likes to do. He says the usual, wants to study. Yuna thinks it's wonderful he's so studious. A black cat appears nearby, she shoos it away. Uryu thinks Yuna hates cats. Back in the room, Uryu asks why the weird act. Demands an explanation. Then Yuna shoves him and climbs on top, already pulling off her kimono. With nothing underneath. This girl's gone nuts. Saying it might be a bit too soon, but she pleads. Please make the shrine air with me. Uri jumps up, yelling to stop this madness. She can't do this stuff without thinking. Tells her to calm down. Yuna says this is the only thing she can do for the shrine. Then she leaves the room, excusing herself to fix her makeup. Her sisters were spying the whole time. Shameful. They tell Uryu Yuna's been super desperate lately. He says if he had to marry one of them, it wouldn't need to be Yuna to cause this panic. She doesn't even seem to like him. Sari explains it's the only way Yuna sees to save the shrine from ruin. Marrying Uryu like he's some folklore monster? They're worried Yuna might have a breakdown any moment. So Uryu hatches a plan. Invites her out like normal young people. Takes her to a cat cafe because he knows she loves cats. Yuna says she shouldn't indulge like this, but can't resist the cute critters. She's even tempted to move in. She caved easily, but soon says that's enough. Time to go home. No time for fun, can't relax. Uryu tells her I and Sari are worried. Worried about her stress over the shrine. Yuna says that's her duty. Just like he wants to be a doctor for the foster kids. Uryu says the shrine matters but her sisters matter too, so she should chill sometimes. That's also her duty. Consider it part of the job. He says for today, he'll ditch studying and go wild with the cats. Yuna thinks that's unfair and wants to enjoy the adorable kitties too. Out of nowhere, that weird black cat from before plops on Uryu's lap. By evening, she bought little gifts for her sisters so they can match next time. She'll bring them next time. Sans Uryu, of course. He says cat cafes are addictive. He'll want to come back too. And Yuna gives him a cat charm, saying it's her thanks for the day. It was really fun. Uryu is stunned, snapping back to reality confused. Why's she being nice? She must have snapped again. Then Yuna obviously gets mad. What a cute couple. They'll get along great. She takes the chance, chucks salt at him, and says she hates him. This girl carries salt everywhere. Now it's the eldest daughter's day. But when he checks why she's late, the girl's still changing clothes with her assets out. The meet time was ages ago. I says she still isn't done, going at her own slow pace. Uryu says she can take all the time. Good study chance. But an hour passes. She's still in her room. He opens the door, handkerchief over face. Sees she's gone. Her sisters don't know where Ya is either. She even left her phone. She's near the shrine gates, drawing. Uryu finds her, asks why she's chilling here sketching. Ya's shocked he found her. He says everyone was worried. Asks how he found her. Uryu says he saw her unfinished painting of the torii gates in her room and guessed she'd be at the Inari shrine for reference. Ya's floored, he's practically a pro detective. Uryu asks why she skipped the arranged meeting. Ya gets all shy, hints maybe he wanted a real date with her. Uryu calls that nonsense. He's not crushing, just wants the reason. But Ya says all mysterious for him to guess why. The guy's clueless. She says it's a girl's secret. And someday, being a good detective, he'll figure it out. So she says since they're here, might as well do the date. They walk together around the shrine and historic religious spots. At night, Ya asks him to accept a gift as apology for the trouble she caused. The gift? An evil warding charm. Uryu needs to take real good care of it. You never know when bad luck might visit. And she thanks him. The date was fantastic. He thought she was just a spacey airhead, but she's a total mystery to Uryu. Out of nowhere, she asks who he wants to marry. She's super curious. She says Sari tries to act mature, but has a unique cuteness he might like someday. Yuna seems hot-headed but shows her sweet side too. Maybe I'm the one he'll fall for. Uryu calls that ridiculous. He won't fall for her. Ouch, might hurt. Her feelings. My man's flustered, saying it's not 'cause she's unattractive, but from the start, he only had one choice. None of them. Then he trips off the temple balcony stairs. This might be it. I tries grabbing him, but the charm's cord snaps. Uryu's life flashes before his eyes like a red thread of fate. He thinks he's joining his mom, but something happens. He sees his future, hanging with all three, acing exams, becoming a doctor. How'd he marry all the Amagamis? He wakes up shouting, Had to be a dream. He asks if their date was real. Ya says it was fun. Uryu mutters, "Did I fall down the stairs?" Confusing. Aye. Luna senses Uryu's shady vibe and scares him, asking why he's hunting priestesses at noon. She says he's perfect to buy snacks for tea. Gotta be top tier cause of VIPs visiting. Uryu heads to the cafe, hears grannies gossiping. The Amagami festival's coming. Haven't gone in ages. The VIP wants the shrine sold. Uryu's confused. Shido introduces him. Meet Miemon Kitara Shikawa, leader of the Kitara Shikawa clan. Funded us for years. Lately though, visitor numbers cash nosedived. Unacceptable. They're cutting funding. He'll let them keep the house. Not a total monster? The sisters are uneasy, especially when Mimon brings up their mom. So hard without her. When she lived, this place packed. Festivals had 1,000 plus visitors. Since she died? Less than 1/3. All cause she worked herself to death raising useless kids and running the shrine. The guy's a snake. Yuna snaps. Ai holds her back. He won't fund a joke shrine in Kyoto. Uryu blurts, "We'll get 5,000 visitors." Miemon laughs. Childish. Unrealistic. Sari says they're not kids, but he smirks. A admits Uryu's request is childish, but begs for time. They bow to him. The creep accepts grinning. Like you not hitting like, wanting more vids. He won't fund a yen. If they miss 5K, he takes the shrine and their home. Price for an impossible favor. The Amagamis accept, trusting Uryu. Miemon sneers. Can't wait for the festival. Hope the boy doesn't regret bragging. Uryu just made a dangerous enemy. How will they realistically get 5K people? He must have a plan, right? Throwing out that crazy number? Cue all-night studying. With this hustle, maybe they can do it. After pulling an all-nighter, Uryu presents the festival plan. Problem. Booth numbers plummeted after their mom died. Local shops stopped coming. They lost contacts. Gramps couldn't rebuild. Ai stays cheerful. We're great priestesses. Won't drop the ball now. Time for Plan B, social media blitz. They're young but tech clueless. Total boomer mindset. Strategy, rally people via online ads. Uryu reveals they have a shrine. Website, the scam? It's a sad bare-bones site. Looks like my HTML homework. They think it's fine. Nah, gotta make it flashy. All three will be Amagami shrine poster girls. Why? 'Cause they're hot. That'll pull crowds. Though Uryu's too embarrassed to admit it. But Yuna's against priestesses degrading themselves with vain vulgarity. No one wants to see that. Yet Asahi's super hyped to flex her middle schooler charm as marketing depth head. But her cute pic only got 1 like after posting. Chill girl, let the algorithm cook. But no time for that, posting a stern Yuna shrine pic? 0 improvement, 2 likes, need bigger bait to grab attention. So Ray posts a thirst trap pic of ya. Still nothing. Religious shrine crowds ain't here for that. She even considers Ludmiko outfit shots, but that's just fetish stuff, not faith. Yuna snaps, "Stop the vulgarity. Can't expose us like this. You're failing as a priestess," Sari fires back. Cue waterworks. She screams at her sis. "It's not like that. Maybe you're the failure." That prideful attitude got them here. Uryu tries breaking it up. Then Ai arrives. Dark aura mode activated, shutting the fight down instantly. Yuna's trying to take Insta pics but clueless. Uryu surprises her. "Make up with your sis." Shows how hard Sari's grinding to make the page blow up. Yuna never thought she failed as a priestess. To reconcile, she hugs Sari asking, "Is this pic good?" Apologies flow. Her big sis is someone she truly admires. Peace restored. Group hug. Then, a pic of all three explodes on Insta. 5 days till festival. They post reels boosting the Amagami reach further. Social media plans sailing smooth. Now for phase 2. Limited time offer. Special charms only festival goers get. Ya's designing them. Progress seems good? 2 days later, nothing delivered. Uryu's panicking. She opens the door sleepy. "I'll finish by tomorrow morning. It's 11 p.m. He's convinced everything's doomed. He checks her room. She's gone. Finds her by the pond watching koi snatch falling cherry petals. Fish kissing for food? Love is cute. Light bulb. Amulet idea. Next morning, Oryu shows his sketch. It's ugly. Big sis to the rescue. She unveils the solution. A stunning charm with koi representing love. Koi fish mean wealth, success, but also love and friendship. She bets their young followers will eat it up. Absolute genius move. Oryu thinks she zones out too much. Her silence worries him. Better watch her. Ya thanks him sweetly. Videos are fire. Limited merch ready. Festivals saved, but one last thing Oryu must do. They visit the commercial district promo group begging, help make Amagami Festival a success. Sisters plead too. Group leader agrees instantly. They were already discussing how to help. They cut ties after the last priestess died, but always cared. Amagami Shrine holds so many local memories. They apologize for missing their crisis. Feels like mom's era again. She connected everyone through festivals. She always said, a priestess must nurture bonds with those who pray. They'd forgotten, focused only on themselves. Oryu helped them remember what matters. Together, they'll make this epic festival day. Time to hit 5K and save the shrine. But barely anyone came. Only 35 people? Makes no sense. Insta stats were booming. Commercial district promoted hard. Then Sari drops the bomb. A fake profile posted, festival cancelled. Can't tell followers it's fake. The jerk reported their real account as imposters. Got them nuked. Obviously masterminded by Snake Miemon. Chilling with Dango, savoring their suffering. Teach them not to mess with me. Oryu knows it's him. Yo says, no proof. But who else would screw over Amagami Shrine? Is this the end? After all that hustle, the marketing, everything ruined by one slimy move? Yuna feels utterly disappointed in herself. But it ain't over yet. At least Uryu's got fire in his eyes to pull this off. The schedule shows afternoon's prime time to reel people in with food stalls and sacred dances. So Uryu drops his plan on the sisters. They're stunned. Gramps thinks it's brilliant. It ropes in the commercial district crew, who show up super eager to help. Uryu's sprinting through streets handing out flyers. After all, they're the stars of Amagami Festival. Asahi worries if the deities will disapprove, but Gramps says chill. Gods just want everyone happy. Let's party so loud mom hears it from the other side. Uryu tries handing flyers to passers-by. Total flop. Then Mahiru grabs one. With that gloomy mug, you'll hand out nada. She joins the mission. Even the orphanage kids pitch in. Headed to the fest, heard about the crisis, came to help Uryu. Mahiru knew he'd try solo harrowing. Flyers fly faster now. Suddenly, everyone stops. Stares. Something dazzling approaches. Uryu's plan in motion. The flashiest Amagami shrine float ever rolls up, with all three priestesses dancing. Crowds amazed. They thought it was cancelled. Now everyone wants in. Miemon watches, face sour. His plan bombed hard. Ai admits Uryu's move was epic, but he still needs to respect the deities properly. For now, party time. At this rate, 5K's doable. But then, heavy rain crashes the fest. Only 125 people counted. Uryu refuses to quit over random rain. The Amagami sisters insist. It's a deity. Test. They never abandon the faithful. They lift up those who truly try. They pray hard for protection to finish strong. Uryu bolts, desperate. There's gotta be a way. A miracle. Poof. Rain stops. Revealing the most stunning scene, the koi pond, drowned in cherry blossoms. Even skeptic Uryu feels like thanking the gods. The Amagami sisters launch into their shrine's sacred dance. Crowds mesmerized, filming the grace and beauty. Thank God the rain quit. Everyone witnesses the love pond spectacle. Reminds them of festivals with mom. Now they'll grow as priestesses, strengthening human deity bonds. The miracle worked. Amagami Fest is packed. Huge lines for love charms and shrine stamps. Uryu's drowning solo at the merch booth, till Mahiru shows up scolding. Show respect. These ain't just goods, they're sacred. Even Shira helps. Mahiru's psyched to finally wear a Miko outfit. Man, fest work is brutal. And Uryu still doesn't believe in deities since arriving. Just chores, forced marriage talks, and dates. Prep killed his study time. Dude's hitting his limit. Mahiru whispers, "You felt sorry for them struggling without mom." Uryu denies it. Watching effort fail ain't right, but Mahiru knows. He's happy helping them. Later, tension spikes. 5 mains left. Need one more visitor to hit 5K. No one in sight. Miyamon struts in announcing, "Time's up." They brace for Shrine Doom. Plot twist. I'll keep funding Amagami Shrine. He was visitor 5,000. Now he wants them to turn fest-goers into regular visitors. Smirks as he leaves. After this massive debt, you'll never cross me again. Can't wait to see Amagami's next move. Finally, crisis averted. The sisters keep their home. Ai tears up, hugging her sis. We get to stay. Overjoyed, she thanks Uryu and plants a kiss on his cheek. Sisters gasp. Uryu's stunned. So happy she got carried away, dude's nosebleed erupts. Over a dorky cheek kiss? Really? Later, Uryu's studying algebra. Then bam! Remembers the hottie's kiss. Total focus meltdown. He flops on the floor, nose bleeding. Does I like me? Caught overthinking by Shira, who roasts him. Chill, teen hormones, especially near Ya's assets. But how's he supposed to study? Uryu just wants to know Ai's real feelings. Enter Sari, wing woman mode. Operation Unlock Ai's heart begins. Love interview starts. Sari asks Ai about Uryu. He's nice? Classic friend zone reply, but Uryu's emotional takes it as interest. Sari face palms, gotta explain reality. Poor guy's lost, still hope? Maybe Ai's hiding true feelings? Even Yuna and Asari admit they never know what their spacey big sis really thinks. Time for phase 2. Exhaustion. Truth serum. Tired people. Honest people. They trick Ai into a light jog, but her assets weigh her down. She tires fast, collapses, just wants a bath. Obviously not talking now. Later, sisters soak in the tub. Yuna casually asks, "Hey, Sari, what got into you today?" Kissing Uryu, blushing, Sari mumbles, "Maybe he's kinda cool. A good guy? Tries hard for us? But he's still the guy they might be forced to marry. Did those qualities make Ai fall for him?" Clever as she is, she says, "That's a secret. So in the end, can't tell if love's there or not. If she's hiding that much, something's up." For now, Uryu can't obsess. That's his mess with Ai. Sari can chill. When he goes for a kafune, head scritch, to thank her. "Don't treat me like a kid." Uryu apologizes. It reminded him of the orphanage tots. "Ai, no way, sis. You're grown. Chill." As punishment, she goes for his ear and gives a little love nibble, leaving Uryu baffled. Sari just says secrets and bails, shocked at herself. Next day, Uryu's practically a zombie. What did those sisters do to me? Leaving the bathroom, he spots Yuna looking sus, definitely scheming. She tries playing, innocent but lies so bad. Ai arrives on scene. Uryu says Yuna's acting weird. Ye knows why. She's plotting the same thing. Says she could tell Uryu, but Ya doesn't want to risk him spilling. Shockingly, Uryu's study time ends 0 interruptions. No chaos. Weird. Not normal. The house is too quiet. He peeks out, sees Sari spying on someone. Shh. Ai's in her room taking forever sewing one charm. Why? 'Cause tomorrow's Sari's birthday, that's the secret. Ya and I just suck at keeping it. Seeing what Big Sis is doing? She sewed a ton of giant plushies. Look like Pokemon. Just no indecent stuff with them, okay? The older sisters are competing to give Sari the best gift. Battle Royale topplies their baby sis. But knowing they care this much warms her heart. Mid-fight though, both gifts get ripped. Total disaster. Sari walks in on the mess. They try covering it up, yelling, "Happy birthday!" Since it's midnight. Apologize for the wrecked gifts. Sari says, Ya's love made plushies. I poured love into a beautiful charm. That's all I need. Their love is the best gift. She loves them tons too. Oh. Sibling love wins. Group hug. Happy tears. Sari's thrilled it worked out. All that drama over loving the youngest. So sweet. Uryu gives a shy, happy birthday. They head out for yummy food. Next morning, Ya's half dead from sewing all night. Sari calls her to see something. The ripped gifts? Completely fixed. Uryu stayed up all night repairing them. He's asleep on the floor with a sewing book, plus a Happy Birthday Sari card. Now all three are crushing harder on him. Cue Uryu's vision. Ya wants him still. For gratitude. Leaning in for a kiss. He wakes up, panicked. Felt so real. Checks phone. Mrs. Mahiru wants to meet in person. Sari's in uniform, needs help sewing a button. Ai asks where he put her manga after cleaning. But dude's gone. Ai says he'll be back afternoon. They gotta wait. Yuna scolds them. Y'all depend on Uryu too much, especially Ai with that cheek kiss. What if he gets impure ideas? And Sari scheming. Sari's bad acting fools no one. Yuna yells. Self-respecting priestesses don't get that close to guys. Have some dignity. Interact carefully. But Sari argues. Don't be so cold. We gotta show gratitude for everything he did. Yuna ponders this. Uryu arrives at the orphanage. Grabs his new school uniform. Mailed wrong due to paperwork error. Spring break ends in exactly 1 week. Didn't need to call me. Mail it. Mahiru wanted to see him in person. Asks how life with the priestesses is. Dude gloats. They always need me. It's tiring but nice feeling necessary? Ya's super lazy. Gotta wake her constantly. Ai takes forever doing stuff. Slow but tries hard. Sari's hopeless with hands-on tasks. I do everything for her. Mahiru knows she loves it. Fake complaining. Get humble, focus on studies. Stay a bit distant. Only help who truly matters. Uryu leaves at sunset. Spots Ye waiting by the torii gate. She wants to talk. They walk home together. Awkward silence. She gives him a shoulder massage. He gets flustered. Feels good though. She even ties his shoelace. He's confused why. Staring at her very visible cleavage. Begs Yuna to stop. Don't need this. She just wants to show gratitude with actions. Sister's advice. Uryu realizes this whole scene matches his dream. Meaning, the kiss might happen. She thanks him for everything he did for her and Amagami Shrine. Uryu almost has a heart attack. Ai runs off, bumps into Yuna. Yuna falls right on Uryu. He blocks the kiss with his hand. Last second save. Damn anime logic. Yuna throws salt on Ai for impurities and drags Uryu away. He's surprised she's not furious? Ai just fell on him. Accident. He walks ahead. Yuna replays what almost happened. Chucks more salt on herself for heart impurities. Love is brewin'. Uryu has more visions. Ai looking dazed. Ya near a river, reservoir, getting a surprise. Someone like Uryu hiding. All four walking. Uryu carrying Sari piggyback. Weird. Suddenly he's lying down with all three on his chest. Sadly for him, he wakes up at mealtime. Ai says they need to visit Lady Tsukigami for guidance. She's at Tsukigami Shrine in Arashiyama, the exact place from Uryu's dream. This place is way bigger than Amagami Shrine. The woman there taught the three sisters how to be priestesses. Visitor numbers shot up after the festival. But new challenge, they gotta handle the crowds, and school starts next week. So they're seeking shrine management advice from Lady Tsukigami. Wondered if Uryu wanted to come? Kid refuses hard. Not letting some dream dictate my fate. Then Shido shows up with a package right after he said no way. Ends up having to deliver it to Arashiyama. Future ain't changed that easy. Meanwhile, a priestess informs the boss the Amagami sisters arrived. She orders 4 teas prepped. Knows Uryu's coming. Lady seems in full scouting mode, observing intensely. Uryu arrives with the package. Sisters are confused. Unwrap it? Anti-evil spirit seal stamps? Tsukigami tells everyone to chill. introduces herself to Uryu. She's head priestess Yomiko of Tsukigami Shrine. He asks if this hierarchy stuff is legit. Yuna's furious he doesn't know. She's huge, only below the deputy chief and high priestess. Now Yomiko'll handle the zeal box. She's radiating major aura. Guess the anime's got powers now? Wild. But nah, total drama. Box just had almost expired sweets. Old man tricked Uryu good. Now, they can chow down together. Yuna especially is starving. Tsukigami Shrine worships moon deity Tsukuyomi. Super ancient history. The moonlight's darkness. Our shrine blesses those lost or suffering. Yuna mentions the legend. This shrine makes dreams real. The moon dreamer's rainbow bridge. Sounds kitty. On nights when moonlight's strong, walk the rainbow beam and your wish comes true. That's the legend. But Uryu ain't buying superstitions. Sisters cut to the chase. Need tips managing increased shrine traffic. Tough handling it. Yomiko tells Yuna, "Don't call me master. Too stiff." Notes Sari's prettier since last time. Like a doll. And I filled out nicely, if you catch my drift. Uryu's jaw drops at her indecency. Yomiko booked them a night at the Hot Springs Inn. Says enjoy all they want. Sweet. I loves big baths. Uryu refuses to stay. Gotta study. Can't let more dream prophecies happen. Then priestesses pour in, chanting prayers thanking deities. Super disciplined under Yomiko. Uryu underestimates her. Sisters pray Amagami Shrine gets this grand someday. Yomiko's like a second mom, but Uryu calls her out. Why avoid advising them? Yomiko admits he's sharp. True, she won't counsel them cause shrine life's a massive burden. Asks if they're really ready for lifelong priesthood? Sari and Yuna face entrance exams soon. I must decide post-college. Religious life isn't your only path. You get one life. Amagamis must choose wisely. She leaves. Yuna insists she's ready. For family worshippers and the deities. Prepared to serve. But Yomiko says that's just duty. Not enough. They think they're full priestesses? Without Yomiko's help? Doubt they'll manage. Uryu snaps. I just moved in, but I know how they love that shrine. You're too cold knowing them longer. Yomiko fires back. Do you grasp the situation? Uryu'd need to marry one to keep Amagami running. His refusal makes its future shaky. Tells the youth to think hard and tell her their wishes tomorrow. Morning comes. Wait, it's night? All four are wiped. Ai wanders off, saying she'll go ahead to the inn. Uryu needs to go home, study to be a doctor. Can't inherit their shrine. She stumbles. Uryu catches her. There it is. The dream prophecy face. Crazy starts. Yomiko gets a call. Probably Shido? She says Uryu's, her type looks wise, wants results soon, and wonders which sisters truly fit to lead Amagami's future. Sari reports, Yuna's in depressed mode. Takes everything to heart. Little things crush her. Meanwhile, I vanished. Went. Off alone. Now Sari in marathon mode searches for her sister, plus reflects. Uryu tends to Yuna. She says don't worry, she'll be fine. But her face says otherwise. He grabs her coffee. She can't drink it. She really wants jiruko, that fermented drink. But she spills it. Not even the can wants me. I suck as a priestess. Uryu argues. You work so hard. Lead 'cause you love being a priestess. She denies it. Just doing duties. Means nothing. He comforts. I'll get more jiruko. He knows she's lying. She never says what she really feels. Heading back, Uryu spots Miko hiding, worriedly watching Ayuna. She pretends she's just strolling nearby. Now Yuna's gone too. Poor Rook's got problems piling up. He heads to the waterfall, finds the girl planning to meditate under it. He says she'll ruin her clothes. Oh, she takes off her pants and marches on. But Uryu stops her, then accidentally grabs her chest. This pervy kid's feeling up Yuna's softness. She panics, chucks salt at the creep. Afterward, heading home, Uryu tells her to quit staring like she'll murder him any second. He just wanted to comfort her. But she snaps. He's the one who says she must study and won't marry any of them. So why help the shrine? If he thought they needed him? Dream on, they never asked for help. Tells him to forget them already. They're not happy just from Uryu's help. Is that what he thinks? Calls him a narcissistic, pervy psycho who only cares about studying and nothing else. Now Rook's pissed and yells he helped to feel good about himself. Thinks he's kinda hot and can do anything if he tries. Did it all cause he genuinely wanted to help. Hearing this, Yuna starts laughing in his face after seeing him all puffed up and ridiculous. Who shouts such cringy stuff? Ai's starting to feel kinda dumb after moping. Remembers her mom and Uryu's "do what you want" speech. That's how to move forward too. Keeps laughing at Uryu's rant. Apologizes for mocking the pathetic boy. Loses control, giggling, tells him to cheer up. Mortified, Uryu screams he hates her and won't buy her Zeruko ever. Peak dumb couple fight. Sarah shows up after her jog. Yae's back on cloud 9. Can't stay depressed forever. Uryu asks if she found her sister. Sorry, didn't even look. She'll come home. Uryu thinks they're too careless. But maybe he's overly worried cause he likes Ai. Cue internal panic. Ai says Ai's an adult who can handle herself. No need to be so overprotective. So Uryu heads home. Then wonders if he really knows the girls. Night falls. Ai's by the reservoir, reflecting on her future. Rook finds the eldest, claiming his epic future-seeing powers led him there. Crazy talk. Tried to sound cool but failed. He knew from his dream. Rook gets flustered saying girls shouldn't be alone at night. It's dangerous. Ai's touched by his kindness, making him more embarrassed. They inch closer, until glued together. Then she says he miscalculated his homework. Rook's baffled. How'd she know from a quick glance? She mentally calculates like a human abacus. Yep, he messed up. Ai's low-key genius. Rook praises her art skills, killer design sense, good at everything. I studied tons of stuff young. Tea, ceremony, ikebana, even martial arts. Impresses Uryu, big time. With that, she could choose any future. But it's hard for Ai. What does her future hold? Maybe married to some shrine-inheriting guy? She asks which future Uryu prefers. He short-circuits, time to leave, but strong wind hits. Uryu grabs Ai so she won't fall. But face plants into the water. Now she's sitting on his back, cold and soaked. Rook's gonna catch a cold. Later he takes a hot bathe in the sister's bathroom. Yuna's not happy. But public baths closed. No choice. Yuna thinks Ai and Uryu are too close. Ai claims nothing happened. Yuna counters that Uryu improved her mood, making Ai remember the waterfall accident. She panics, leaves badly that nothing happened, bolts to buy snacks. Sorry teases that I'll bathe with him to apologize for his river fall. Expose yourself fully. Spacey Ai doesn't get it, so she asks to join him. Rook freaks. Ai hands him a towel and enters the bath, but sadly for our average otaku, it's all in Rook's imagination. He hides behind a plant, exactly like his dream. He admits he thought Ai might walk in naked. She calls him a total perv for those thoughts. Rook was studying while Ai picked a drink, but she takes forever. He goes to help, finds her frozen, resisting choice like with her future. Some woman once told her everything's decided. Friends, even her spouse. A preset life. She thought she wanted nothing, but everything changed. So Rook steps up, chooses for her, breaking her hesitation. Says though she seems all-knowing, she's a lost child inside. Always scared and hesitant. Uryu, will guide her whenever needed. She playfully puts the cold can on his back. Thought he'd be a controlling boyfriend, but now she'll decide for herself. Tells Uryu to quit being cheeky. She's the eldest. Quekoi pond kiss memories. Love is in the air. Sari's all clingy, begging Rook to sleep with her. But Yuna puts sense in the youngest's head. She won't share a room with a guy. Who knows? What could happen? Thinks Rook's a criminal, but no worries. He's gentle and proper. After good talk comes the epic pillow fight. Next morning, another Uryu dream comes true. All three cuddled up on him. He wakes up. Sees Sahi checking something on her phone. She startles, drops her phone. Uryu glances at the screen. It's a recruitment ad for a track school famous for relay races. Sari confesses she got an offer last year after a race she ran. She's thinking of moving to Tokyo alone next year. She only told her grandpa cause she's scared to tell her sisters. Knows they'd support her, making it harder to leave. But Uryu insists Sari has to tell them. Can't keep this secret. Plus, gotta tell Yomiko too about her future plans. She finally agrees, but trips him. They tumble into an embarrassing position, and snap. Ai takes pics to blackmail Uryu into promising silence. Uryu gets it. Complicated feelings are hard to share. But nosebleed alert. Caught a peek off Sari's body through her loose yukata. Yuna wakes up, sees them. Scared to talk, Sari bolts. Ai accuses Uryu of doing something. Not quite. So he spills. Sari plans to move to Tokyo. They're actually chill. They suspected something was up with the youngest but didn't want to decide for her. Uryu always butting in. Sari's always pushed to do things solo. The older sisters just watched from afar, rooting for her. They won't pry until she tells them how she feels, though they'll miss their baby sis like crazy when she leaves. Sari's in the bamboo grove, thinking she needs to grow up fast and be independent. Uryu finds her, says she must be honest with her sisters. Can't leave the family she loves without that talk. He knows how painful silent goodbyes are. Her sisters want her to share her feelings. They'll support her no matter what. Distance won't break the bonds forged with their mom. So she decides, no Tokyo. If a beauty like me leaves, Amagami Shrine loses visitors. Plus, the anime plot needs all three sisters together, right? Sari wants them together forever. Q group hug. Sari's done with the waterworks and starts dozing off. Adrenaline gone. Uryu carries her piggyback. It's okay to be like this. Sari loves being treated like a princess. Uryu has another vision. Wakes up with the sisters older. Sari's 22, a full-grown woman. Ai and Yuna tease Uryu's still not adulting. No job or degree. But even adults don't change much. Uryu's lost. How's he in the future with a past mind? He apparently forgot. A promise to the priestesses. The big day's near? His idea. Once he gets his doctor and priest certificate, he'll marry all three Amagami sisters. Yeah, buddy, polygamy's on the table. But alas, my average otaku, it was just a dream. He wakes up back in reality. Now Mahiru and Yomiko chat calmly. The moon priestess helped Mahiru find Uryu a place. It was nothing, Amagami Shrine asked, for help finding a good heir to marry one of the girls. Funny, the kids we raised will now unite and form a family. Mahiru's kinda sad letting Uryu go to one of them. She found them sweet and lovely, while the boys all stiff and blunt. Just, Mom worries. But Yomiko wonders if she feels the same. Mahiru asks about Yomiko's history with the girls. 6 years back, Yomiko visited Amagami Shrine to pay respects after they lost their mom. She asked Shido about the shrine's future. He had no clue. Suddenly, Yuna and the girls popped out, begging Yomiko to be their mentor. Totally surprising. Her. Soon after, the girls struggled learning priestess duties. Yomiko almost dipped with a cool young pastor. But she bowed 90 degrees to them instead, vowing to help them learn true respect. Later, they practiced leaf offerings, but Sari sucked. Yomiko scolded her harshly. Sari, you're not even trying, making her cry. Later, Yomiko wondered how to train 3 little girls. Then heard Sari promise to work harder. The other 2 vowed to make their mom proud too. Yomiko was thrilled hearing them plan solo practice. From then, they improved, but she wondered. Were they truly happy just following their mom's path? Felt like her fun days vanished in a blink. After years of training, the girls had to say goodbye with tears in their eyes. Yomiko reminded them they were still rookies and could call for help anytime. This made them happy. They realized how much she reminded them of their mom. In the present, Mahiru was amazed hearing how Yomiko trained them, while Uryu finished hearing their story. Then they explained feeling lonely, realizing they couldn't see her often, always wishing for more time with Yomiko, but regretting how busy she was. Meanwhile, Mahiru asked Yomiko what exactly was wrong with the girls. Yomiko explained Shido, asked about choosing a shrine successor, but she didn't think any of them should feel that pressure. They should chase their own dreams. Then Yomiko asked if it was out of line to feel this way, since she wasn't even family. Mahiru and Uryu advised Yomiko, remembering their time together. They insisted even without blood ties, they could still become family. After this, the girls perked up. That night they agreed to meet Yomiko at the bridge, while Uryu tagged along. He noticed things matched his dream exactly, and planned to bolt home after greeting Yomiko. She met the girls and said the moon seemed extra blessed tonight. Then she asked about their future dreams. Uryu realized I was her usual airheaded self, but Yuna was forcing it, and Sari had ditched her Tokyo dream, making Uryu nervous about their choices, until all three insisted they wanted to inherit the shrine. When the girls realized they all agreed, they started arguing. Sari insisted being with her sisters mattered more than running track, and she'd crush marketing as shrine PR head. I vowed to handle shrine charms, gifts, since she'd ace that, but Yuna refused to back down. She wanted it too. Uryu watched, shocked they all shared one brain cell. Holy moly! Yomiko then asked if this was their final answer. The girls stood, firm, remembering their mom as Shrine Maiden, vowing to protect their home. They did the 90-degree bow, begging Yomiko's help, making her almost tear up. Then Uryu asked if leaving Amagami Shrine to three clumsy girls was wise. They glared, till Uryu begged Yomiko to mentor them properly. Yomiko agreed but roasted them. Your ideas suck. You've got no real plans to run the shrine, just vibes. She concluded it was too soon to pick a successor. She'd retrain them longer. The girls were stunned. Yomiko reminded them they could always call if trouble hit. They asked if they could visit even for no reason. Yomiko said they'd be more than welcome. After celebrating, Yomiko asked, "Would you marry Uryu if it meant inheriting the shrine?" All three looked at Uryu. They remembered Yomiko's warning about the shrine's survival depending on him. As Yomiko waited, she recalled Mahiru saying Uryu wouldn't refuse harshly. Uryu saw the girl's determination and vowed to try his best too. He pulled out his phone, showing pics of the orphanage boys. They're annoying now, but they'll be prime hubby material later. Yomiko remembered Mahiru's words. After his mom died, Uryu struggled to get close to Anyuan, but overcoming that made him their fiercest ally. Uryu promised to support the girl's dream however he could. Yomiko finally understood Mahiru. The girls kept debating husband candidates, picking favorite boys, when I suddenly said, "It should be Uryu," shocking everyone. Sari instantly agreed. Yuna pretended, "It's just for the shrine." Yeah, right. I believe that. Since they couldn't agree, Sari suggested, "Let's all marry him." Suddenly, glowing particles surrounded the bridge. The girls lost balance, tumbling onto Uryu. He remembered the full moon wish legend. Seeing them, all piled on him, Uryu panicked. Sari's joke might become reality. As the girls argued and Yomiko totally ditched, she couldn't wait to see what path they'd choose, leaving the girls in Uryu's hands. Uryu's whipping up breakfast for the sisters, practicing saying their names out loud. Totally nuts, thinking he sounded natural. Then all three walk in asking what's up. He freezes, seeing their beauty. After that whole marry all three bridge thing, Uryu's brain's short-circuiting. School starting, spring break's over, but they notice he ain't eating much. I tries hiding it, but you can't fake love, buddy. I asks, what school Uryu's going to? He prays it's not Yuna's? A girl's school? Only happens in manga, come on. So, Uryu scrambles to sort transfer papers and bolts. Just then, I remembers. This year Yuna's school went co-ed, both caught off guard. Uryu's the only guy in Yuna's class. Maybe the whole school. Some girls are eyeing King Uryu. One even says it's like he's got his own harem. Chill girl, respect, please. They praise him as handsome. Could be a nutch, idol or model. Got a girlfriend? Want his contact? Dude's uncomfy with the attention. He pulls Yuna aside. Fine if you want to flirt with classmates, but absolutely no telling anyone we know each other or live together. No talking, walking to, from. School! Uryu gets it but asks who they're hiding from. It's not shameful. Yuna says she doesn't want weird rumors spreading, all shy and red. So Uryu promises he'll be careful. Not a problem, wants zero distractions, just study. He's in the perfect class for it. Prestigious school, special prep stream. For Kyoto Uni, this is the spot. But hard to focus as king, girls fawning over his glasses. Gotta get used to it. After class, Yuna's friend Mitsuki Mino shows up. Her family runs a dango shop. Nickname, Dango Girl. Uryu introduces himself. She's class rep. Anything he needs, ask Dango Girl. She asks if being the only guy bothers him. Nope, all good. She leaves top rep for next class. Dango Girl finds that weird. She never ditches new students. Little does she know their situation. Dango Girl thinks Uryu's crushing on Yuna. Well, not wrong. Seisat School, Yuna's famous for top grades and elegance. But her English sucks. Uryu knew that. School's buzzing about the Amagami Shrine Festival, making Yuna super popular. Uryu sees this proper school side of her. Never see it with her wild sisters at home. Dango Girl warns him. Hard to win Yuna's heart. First, beat her best friend. Her. Uryu heads to the bathroom. Returning to class, remembers next period's PE, but entering, sees all the girls changing. Freaks out. Saw things he shouldn't have. Prays nobody noticed. His school life's over if they did. And Yuna won't rest till he's buried in salt. The girls leave. Dango Girl says, all clear, you can change now. Looks like nobody saw, obviously. Dude's done with Uryu. Next day, Uryu's making lunchboxes for the Amagamis, practicing names. They arrive, Yuna still salty about the peekaboo, but he apologized. Still they're happy he made lunches. Been ages since they ate proper. I only ate dango at school. Sorry, just bought konbini burgers. Anya cooked. Way too much rice. Now with Mama Uryu, they'll get quality meals every day. Heading to school, he meets Dango Girl and Yuna at the gate. Yuna's giving him major stink eye. Gotta keep things hush-hush. Her friends surprised Yuna skipped buying dango today. We know why, huh? Uryu plays dumb. No clue. Gonna be a long road faking it for the whole school. Lunchtime, Yuna shows off her gorgeous bento to classmates who beg to swap. So cute seeing her happy and social. Dango Girl notices Uryu's bento looks just like Yuna's. Uh-oh, he totally forgot they'd eat in the same room. Didn't think the boxes would be identical. Yuna panics. Can't explain. She blanked too. So Uryu scarfs his lunch in one go, stuffing his face so nobody compares. Good thing the girls thought it was funny, cute, but Dango Girl ain't stupid. Knows something's way off. Back home, Uryu's washing dishes, stressing how hard it'll be keeping this secret from every girl at school. Then Ai pops in, scaring him. She apologizes for the mess up, offers to stop the bentos, but Yuna thanks him. The food's delicious. Begs him to keep cooking. Sorry and yeah, love it too. Just tweak the boxes so they look different. He gets it. Then the other two barge in demanding custom bentos too. Now it's a circus. Poor guy. Next evening, walking home, Uryu wonders when to call Ai by name. Spots the sisters together, even from different schools. Then Shira sneaks up, tells him to quit making scary faces, freaking people out. Notices his new school blazer. Roasts him. Looks awful on you. Uryu asks how she's been since leaving the orphanage 5 years ago. Shira says her new parents are super kind. Makes Uryu happy. Shira notes he's way taller now. 5 years changes things. He says she changed a lot too. She asks how, but he can't spit out, "You're gorgeous now." She flicks his forehead, teasing, "Lucky. Bastard living with 3 shrine maidens." Uryu disagrees. They complain about everything. Food, meal times, married life vibes. Shira clocks how close he is to them. Invites him to study together later. Suddenly, crowd snapping, pics, videos of the sisters. Zero privacy. Thanks to the huge festival fame. Even creeps hitting them up for karaoke chats. Uryu storms over, yelling their names, telling them to leave. All 4 bolt home. They thank him for saving them. Noticed he called Ai by name for the first time. Was this his master plan to win their hearts? He denies it. No big deal. Calls them by name again. See? Easy. The bond's tightening daily. One night, Uryu has his weirdest dream yet. He's a kid helping a lost girl, wakes up clueless. Later, Uryu has to deal with drunk Ai. Ya begged him to come. Alcohol turns Ai into a spacey, clingy mess. 10x worse. Suddenly, Ai's harassed by guys at another table. Uryu rushes over. When they ask who he is, he claims, "I'm Ai's boyfriend." She leans in, playfully, breaking the virgin's hearts. Ai's friends side-eye this. She doubles down. He's at Kyoto Med School. Girls instantly impressed. They turn to another student there, Makoto. Later leaving, Makoto scolds them for dumb answers. Gives Ai water to sober up. Ai introduces her. Bestie who knows the truth. Relieved, Uryu tries shaking hands. Makoto pulls back, tells Uryu, "Your only job was scaring off creeps. You don't get to act like her real boyfriend." Uryu's ego flatlines. Ai's brain cells are off duty. On the train, Uryu apologizes for the boyfriend bit. Ai says it's fine. He asks if she's ever dated, being so popular. Yo reveals, "I've had more boyfriends than Andressa Urok." Uryu can't believe what he just heard. So heifers to be her fake boyfriend whenever she wants. That'll make creeps think twice. A thanks him, but doubts he can satisfy her size-wise. His mind jumps to the gutter, but she means his stingy food portions, not the dirty idea in his head. Later at home, Uryu finds Ai's wallet on the floor. Reminds him of finding that lost kid. Back then, Ai bought snacks to calm her. Uryu promised reimbursement and asked for a receipt. She pulled it from her wallet. But watching Uryu comfort the kid, Ai fell harder. The perfect man. Just then, the kid's parents rushed over. They thanked Uryu and Ai for helping. Ai said, "The kid was lucky to find him. He always tries to save anyone." Present time. Uryu checks Ai's wallet, spots her driver's license. But squinting closer, the name reads Riko Ito Judy, not Ai Amagami. Confused, he heads to her room to ask, but finds her usual disaster zone. Is Ai Amagami imaginary? Suddenly, noisy chatter outside annoys Yuna. Sari drags her out for a night stroll. She even asks Uryu to join, making him wonder if she's still drunk. Nope, sober, and insists. The girls want to sleep, but Ai hypes up Kyoto's exclusive night scenes and sinfully delicious street food. Mentions Fushimi Inari Shrine, a must-see for priestesses. The girls instantly change their minds. Ai suggests inviting Makoto too. Uryu thinks she'd refuse, still salty. But surprise, Makoto appears instantly. Not thrilled to see him. "No, way that brat rides my ascot," Ai pleads sweetly. Makoto caves. Uryu agrees to tag along to keep the girls safe. Yeah, right. He hands Yai's wallet back, saying he has something important to ask her alone. But Yai says she also has something to say. Yuna and Sari blush with jealousy in the car. Uryu wonders show to bring up the weird name, while Yuna and Asahi stay quiet. They reach the first spot, supposedly full of fireflies, but deader than their Tinder DMs. While the girls hunt fireflies, Uryu trees getting Ai's attention, but Makoto cuts in, telling him to search upstream. The others leave, except Sari. "I'm not a kid needing fireflies." She sits with Uryu. Waiting, Sari asks if he prefers peaches or melons. Uryu blushes. No preference. "Good boy." Sari asks long or short hair, then says, "Forget it. Why am I asking this? Should have asked if he likes Yai." Just then, Sari spots fireflies. Nope, just moonlight. She remembers trying to act mature like Ai, who fortlessly charmed everyone. A firefly attracting others, so she suggests joining the real fireflies. But Uryu says he loves this casual view more. Ai calls him over. Sari fake sleeps on his shoulder so he can't move. When they return, Sari blames her jet lag for acting dumb. Later at a konbini, Makoto offers to buy everyone except Uryu anything. He praises her kindness, till she adds, "You're not included." Inside, Uryu texts Ai for alone time, but sees Makoto power off her phone. Sabotage. Yuna refuses Makoto's offer, but Uryu finds her eyeing ice cream. He warns being considerate backfires. She throws A tantrum. Ai browses light-calorie snacks but can't choose, trying to be responsible like her mom. Exiting, she finds Uryu with a mountain of ice cream. Bought too much. Help me finish it? Yuna lights up. 1 week calorie binge. Uryu teases her dumb face. She scolds him, then admits he's not so bad, and offers to buy him something next time. Before leaving, Uryu asks if she knows Rei. Driving to the shrine, Uryu sees Ai's reply. Talk at the shrine. But Makoto already said Reiko doesn't exist anymore. Uryu rethinks his plan. At Fushimi Inari, the girls are hyped to have it all to themselves. But entering, Makoto reminds Uryu of her warning. He asks what Reiko doesn't exist means. Makoto questions why he cares. Curiosity, he says. She warns, dig deeper, and your Kyoto Uni dream dies. Threat? Just advice. Stay out. Approaching the shrine, Ai realizes how creepy it is dark. Sari agrees. Ai jokes about adding a courage test. Yuna scolds her blasphemy. With 2 paths up, Ai suggests splitting up and meeting at the top to pray. Uryu immediately volunteers to go with Yae, shocking Yuna. Sorry. Yae thinks they'll finally get alone time. Uryu ignores Makoto's warning. Makoto bails to nap in the car, but really she's lurking to sabotage. Ai grabs Uryu to leave, but Sari suddenly clings to him too. I want to go with Uryu. Yuna can't believe her ears. Makoto then joins their group to help. Wink. Uryu asks Sari why she's acting up. She claims her horoscope said, stick to a narcissistic blonde idiot today. Ai protests. He chose me. Yuna imagines horror. Uryu paired with other girls without her. She volunteers as tribute, the only solution. Rock, paper, scissors battle. Sari and Ai lose, forced to pair up. They cringe at their earlier fight. Yuna's secretly thrilled, alone with Uryu. Climbing, Ai asks Sari why she's so desperate to know about her and Uryu. Sari denies everything. Ai confronts her, death glares at Uryu lately. Silence. Could you be falling for him? Sari panics, backs up, trips on the fence, almost falls. Ai catches her. Meanwhile, Yuna and Uryu bicker. Yuna rants about him being a perv who happens to cook well. Insists his mind's in the gutter. Hands waiting to grope my sisters. Yikes, Uryu says she's got it wrong. A rustling noise. A cat appears. He sighs in relief, till he sees Yuna frozen, clutching his arm in terror. Yuna promises to let go soon, but actually clings to his shirt the whole way. Uryu asks why she came at night if so scared. She says she always wanted to visit Inari Shrine, rumored to be closest to God at night. Explains in Shinto, the deceased become deities, so Uryu deduces she's hoping to see her mom. Thinks a skeptic like him would laugh. But Uryu admits, since moving to the shrine, his life's been full of supernatural stuff. Now he believes God might be watching. Suddenly, Uryu's phone rings, scaring Yuna. He answers, Sari says I fell off the fence. They rush back, find Makoto with Sari, just a light bruise. Asking where Ai is, Sari explains Ai tried saving her from falling. Then Ai fell. Sari cries, guilt-ridden, hugging Uryu. Makoto stands, heading toward the fence. Uryu asks what she's doing. Makoto insists she must find Ai. Uryu spots panic on her face, grabs her. Can't trust you. You're acting weird. He'll go instead, telling Yuna to guard Makoto and Sari. They'll be fine. He descends into the forest. Reaching the bottom, Uryu blames himself for wanting to climb with Ai. He shouts for her everywhere. Only reply? A floating mask. What's happening? He chases it, suddenly surrounded by flower. Petals. Blinking, he wonders, where am I? He's in a grade schooler's body. Childhood memories flood back, thinks he's returning to the orphanage. On the way, he spots a black-haired girl pointing at the sky. Approaching, she says she's lost. Uryu asks her name. Reiko. He suggests going to the police. Reiko's stomach growls. Uryu takes her to eat, hands her money to pay. Reiko stares confused. Has she never used cash? Later eating, Reiko waits for Uryu to feed her. He scolds, "You'll be useless depending on others?" Reiko takes a bite. Eyes widen. "Most delicious thing ever," then whispers, "How is this possible?" And Reiko said she doesn't remember what she eats because someone always fixes her food and feeds Yuri. So she figures she must be rich. So he tells her that stuff she picks herself will definitely taste better. Reiko then tells Ru to keep teaching her things she doesn't. No, they head to the playground and Ru is surprised that she's like an unprogrammed robot who can't do anything. So he notices how much she looks like Yae, but then wonders who Yae is when it gets really late. Yuri suggests they go to the police, since her parents must be seriously worried. However, Deiko says it won't be necessary because her escorts arrived. Her bodyguards just in time, Ryo spots several men in black suits calling her Lady Reiko Uyu figures. Everything's gonna be fine now, and he starts to walk away when he hears Reiko telling the man to let her go. The agents explain that her mom asked them to bring her home by force and planned for her to take extra classes to make up for the ones she missed. She was just supposed to follow the path her mom had set for her from that moment on. As Reiko gave in, Uryu remembered his talks with Yae, where he realized she couldn't make decisions because of her anxiety, and later Yae praised him for always saving others. Ru quickly grabs Reiko thinking she was really the girl, and they run away while Ru hopes to completely change her life of hers. Uryu holds Reiko and runs with her to escape her family's security, who can't find them, and the kids were hiding nearby and didn't even notice. Reiko apologizes for dragging Uryu into this, and he says it's all their fault. When you find someone in the family who got lost or ran away, you gotta ask if they're okay and not push things, even though it's fair to be upset. Mahiru scares Uryu a lot when she's mad, and right now she must be super worried, since the kid didn't get home already at this time at night. I'll laugh in her face having fun after getting all the attention, and Ryo is surprised she can laugh, but Reiko covers it up and says she didn't laugh. Can't do that because if she laughs, she'll get cursed out by her mom. Since it's a pretty strict house, Yurio gets why Reiko ran away from home, and now he's gonna take her to a really cool place. They both arrive at the hill where you can see the whole city lit up at night. Something Reiko never imagined she'd see in her life, that she can scream as much as she wants, whatever she wants, with no one around to hear or judge. So Reiko screams that she wants her mom to go to hell no longer, wanting to live a life that's not hers. Who's gonna decide how her life will be? She wants to be a normal kid and play with other kids, eat tasty stuff and wear cute clothes and not stay in the dark like a robot. Doing everything her mom tells her she wants more than anything. Freedom. Ru realizes that he also really wanted that freedom. But when he finally got it, he didn't know what to do with it, and got lost, having said that. Ru calls to go and says that no matter how many times she gets lost, he'll always be there to find and help her until the end. Like this, even I get tired because of Uryu. Dude's the last romantic on earth. We go back to the present and he found Yae sleeping near a tree looking a bit dirty. And now that the memories returned, he knows she's the same Rei that Todi met in the past and is happy to have found her. He's in a super awkward spot and tries to button up her shirt, but then she wakes up right then and things don't exactly look good for the poor guy. Ryo sends a message to Ryuna saying he found Ai and she's okay, which makes the sisters and her friend breathe easy. They're all gonna meet up near the temple entrance on the way. Ryo says he was really worried, and Yae thanks him for saving her again. And now they can finally talk in private about what he wanted to say. So he tells her he found her wallet on the ground and saw the name on the driver's license wasn't Yamagami, but Reikut Jod. And it reminded him of the girl he met in the past. Yae confirms it was her and Uryu. To be fair with Yae about secrets, confesses he peed the bed in elementary school and tried to hide the mess, which ended up stinking the whole place up all day. So Miss Mahiru gave him a huge scolding, and the little guy cried like crazy. Yae doesn't get any of this, and the shame-sharing moment ends. Bree's happy knowing the girl who suffered so much in the past has changed for the better. Yae got kicked out by her mom, cause she didn't want to follow the matriarch's rules anymore, and didn't want her kid embarrassing the Jod family name one day. Dee showed up at the Amagami shrine and met her future mom and grandpa. She got the name Yami. Her sisters thought it was weird at first to have another girl show up in the house, but they quickly clicked and became true sisters, and just like that, she got the freedom she always dreamed of. Yai holds Uryu's hand and says she was reborn with the name Yai, and it was all thanks to him who helped her take the first step toward change. Then the others showed up, relieved, and gave their sister a big hug. Meiko says it bugs her seeing Uryu pretend to be Yai's boyfriend, but admits maybe he's the one who'll change her destiny. So she hops in her car and drives off. Sarah says it was a great trip, and Yai heads to her room, jumps onto her futon, and admits to herself she's fallen for Uryu and can't hide it anymore. So she throws on her pajamas and goes to his room to read manga, while Rue studies in hellish heat. He asks what she's doing there, and she says she won't bother him, just wants to chill in his room, but of course, she takes the chance to tease the guy with her curvy bod. Rue is shook. And Yai says she wants to use him as a drawing model for a college assignment. Look at her, all flirty and smitten. Come on, Uryu. Time to step up. My boy Yai brings a fan and starts sketching Uryu, and he notices that ever since that night at the temple, she's been way more clingy, tagging along for groceries all the time, checking in on what he's cooking. He wonders if maybe she's into him, but remembers when she talked about Uryu before it led nowhere, so it can't be that. They're family after all. Meanwhile, she's doodling all heart-eyed, even adding a little heart beside the sketch and giggling like a dork. Then her sisters barge in, cause they totally sensed the spicy vibes in the room. Like, seriously, how can a guy and a girl be in the same room at this hour and nothing happen? But Yuna tells Sari not to judge too hard since she's pretty flirty herself, and Yai just tells her to zip it. Rue's studying and she's just doing her assignment. Then Sar decides to stay too, keeping an eye on the suspicious activity, and she notices her sisters have changed since that night, especially the super clingy one. Then they see the drawing of Rue and ask if she's dating him. Yai says she just likes him, and will confess her feelings once she's done with school. Till then, she's gonna flirt with him a lot, and tells her sisters to chill cause she's gonna marry Rue and take care of the shrine. Now they all lose their minds, Yai's full-on attack mode, and Urias bursts in, asking what's going on. Sar says it's just girl stuff and it's not important, so they all say goodnight and head out the next week. Professor Atsari hands out slips of paper to the class and asks them to write their wishes on them, and give them back to Sarah so she can hang them on the bamboo trees for the Tanabata festival at the Amagami shrine during free period. The class splits into groups and everyone's chatting about what they're gonna write. Asahi's chillin' at her desk, just watching everything, when her friends ask what her wish is. She says that, as a shrine maiden, her only wish is for everyone else's wishes to come true. Right then, this rich girl from school, Karen Matsugazake, strolls up to Sarah's group and tells her to quit acting like some kind of saint, like, "Give it a rest, Mother Teresa." The mood gets tense as the two toss a few spicy comments at each other until some girls from the table next to Sari's cut in. They ask Karen what her wish is, and she holds up her paper for them to read. No. Surprise! Karen's wish is to win the upcoming marathon. It's just 2 days away. The girls then ask Sarah if she'll have time to prep, since she's clearly been busy with the festival. Sarah's like, "Relax, I've got this," and says she knows how to juggle stuff. Then she looks at Karen and says she's definitely not losing to a spoiled princess like her, because her family's gonna be there cheering her on. She lifts her paper for Karen to see, and Karen's shook when she realizes Sarah wrote the exact same wish. Later that day, Sari arrives at the shrine, where Uryu is helping Yuna and I set up the Tanabata bamboo trees. He asks if Sari's written her wishes yet, and she lifts a whole stack of papers. Uryu calls her greedy, but she says he doesn't have to be so negative. Yai and Yuna call Sarah over and say they'll be at her marathon to cheer her on. Sari tries to talk them out of it, but they insist on going. They even say Rue's going too, which makes Sari tease him, claiming he just wants to go see her running with her belly out, feeding some weird fantasy. He denies it, cause come on, the guy's not that creepy. The next day at school, the coach tells the track team the marathon's postponed due to bad weather. It's rescheduled for next week, and Sari's worried. It now falls on the same day as the festival. Karen sees it as her big chance, and tells Asahi she's totally gonna lose since she'll be too busy with festival prep. But Asahi snaps back, saying she's never done anything halfway. Later that day, when Asahi gets home, she tells her sisters about the schedule change, and they apologize because they won't be able to go to the race anymore. Sari gets annoyed and tells them to stop acting like it's some tragedy. She says they don't need to worry about her, she's a big girl now, and tells them to just focus on making the festival awesome. Then she heads out to train, and Rue tells Yuna and I to do what she asked, or they'll just upset her more. The week flies by and finally it's the day before the race. Sari says goodbye to her sisters cause she's staying at a hotel near the marathon course. On race day, Sari's struggling to keep up, her mind's all over the place, thinking about the festival. She tries to shake it off and focus, but it's tough. Just when she's about to give up, she hears Uryu cheering for her. She's stunned to see him there, and Miko too. Turns out Rue called Miko a few days ago, told her about the race, and asked her to come support Sari. As Sari runs past Uryu and Miko, Miko shoves Uryu forward and tells him to cheer properly. He runs after Sari, shouting encouragement and showing his phone, which is on a video call. Her sisters and grandpa are cheering her on too. At the end of the day, the festival goes off without a hitch, and Sari wins the race. To Karen's utter misery, landing second place again and absolutely fuming. On the way home, Sari falls asleep in Aomiko's lap, and Uryu thanks her for coming to cheer Sari on. Miko brushes it off, but can't resist teasing him about how hard he worked to make sure Asahi didn't end up all alone. After they get to the station, Uryu and Asahi say goodbye to Yumiku, and while walking home together, Asahi thanks Uryu for going to the race. The next day, Uryu goes to grab the newspaper and when he checks it, he notices the date says June 28th, not July 8th like it should be. He immediately checks the calendar and sees the same thing. Still not buying it, he grabs his phone, same date. Now he's seriously wondering how he got stuck in such a weird situation. As the day goes on, everything's exactly like before. He's the only one who realizes he's trapped in a time loop. But when Sari gets home from school and starts acting kinda off, he pulls her aside and asks if she's noticing anything strange too. Sari says yup, and honestly she's kinda glad someone else is stuck in this too. They decide to go with the flow and track any little differences. The week goes by like clockwork and Sari wins the marathon again. But boom, they're still stuck in the time loop. So this time, Uryu tells Sari maybe it's her fault, and suggests she skip the marathon and go to the festival instead, since that's what she really wants. Sari tries to say no at first, but he insists it's worth a shot. She agrees. Now Sari's staying with her sisters for Tanabata Festival. They're kinda stressed she's skipping the marathon after training so hard, but she says she made the choice after thinking a lot about it. This festival is a big deal this year, and the local fave needs to show up. Uryu's like, wait, since when are you the main one? The marathon's important to her? Yeah. But having all three Shrine sisters together, that's bigger. Yuna agrees with the little one, no question. Then we cut to Karen, training for the marathon like her life depends on it. Since it got delayed, she's grinding even harder, hyped and confident she can beat Sari Magami this time. Back in the day, the sisters wanted to go watch Sarah run her marathon and cheer her on, but she thanked them and said she didn't want to be a burden to the older ones, so she just went off to school with this relieved look and ran solo. 'Cause running is her moment of peace, her way to block out the world. That same day was when Karen's rivalry with Sarah really kicked off. Sarah was already snagging first place as a kid, and Karen hated losing to her. But more than that, she was upset Sarah didn't even seem to try her hardest. That day, Karen made a promise. She'd beat Sarah in a race where both were giving it 100%. Sari was shook by Karen's fire back then. Back to the present. Sari goes to the coach and apologizes, saying she's got to drop out of the marathon to focus on her family's event. Coach is super chill and says it's fine, he'll see her in the next one. Only thing is, Karen overheard everything. So yeah, we know what's coming. She wants a word with the coach, or maybe to stir the pot. Uryu says this Tanabata's gonna be the third one for him and Sari in this loop. He thinks she might be the key to ending the cycle. But after all, they've tried. Who knows if this'll finally break it. Last time Sari focused on the marathon, so now it's Tanabata time. And of course, she comes up with a new idea. Elect the most beautiful of the three sisters. Totally chill about the loop, like it's no big deal. She explains the plan. At the festival, green for Yuna, red for Una, and blue for I. People will get paper strips matching their fave and hang them on the bamboo. Whoever gets the most is crowned the shrine's new face. Yuna's already worried this might be straight-up blasphemy. Sari shrugs it off. It's just to make the festival more fun. And hey, the winner becomes the new face of the shrine. No pressure. The contest's gonna be tight. They all have plenty of fans. So, who would you vote for? Drop it in the comments. AI thinks no one's gonna vote for her, but still agrees to join the fun. Then she sees the line forming for her. And it's way longer than her sister's. And Yuna gets super nervous. Can't even talk right. Then one of you nerdy weirdos shows up yelling how much you love Ai. She thanks you, but says she's sorry cause her heart's already taken. Her sisters have to stop her from breaking a few hearts for the sake of the shrine. Ril says the plan from their marketing chief, Asahi, was genius, cause now tons of people are writing down their wishes. She's really happy Asahi wants to do stuff with them now. Uryu thought she was always like this, but turns out, back when they were little, this cheerful younger Asahi actually wanted to play with her sisters. That tiny Legolas used to sprint past their house just for fun. But now she's a little different. Just then, Uryu's friend Shira pops up and says hi. She's blown away by how packed the Tanabata festival is, and how many paper wishes are hanging. She already wrote hers. She wants to get into Kyoto University for med school, with Ryu, but she kinda left that last part out, too embarrassed. And of course, oblivious Ryu didn't notice anything. Dude's got girls everywhere crushing on him. Classic anime energy, huh? Anyway, Shira remembers how, even as a kid, Ryu didn't care about the gods or religious events, said it wouldn't help him get into med school. One thing he had right. You gotta work for what you want. But now Shira wants to try for the same college as Ryu. She figures it'll be more fun with both of them aiming together. Sari knew he was a show-off since forever, and Yuna says he's been sassy with the gods since he was tiny. The Magami sisters hang up Shira's wish and pray with all their hearts. Now for the Pog moment. Results of the most popular Shrine Maiden. And, surprise, a three-way tie. Una thinks that's for the best. Less drama that way. Do you think it's fair? Drop your hot take. Sari tells her sisters, together, we're always in first place. Uryu writes something too, but doesn't want to say who he voted for. So Sari snatches it and reads the secret note. She lights up. Turns out he wished for her wishes to come true. The other girls feel betrayed, and Una definitely suspected something. They've been hanging out too much lately. Might be some hanky-panky going on. Ryu tries to explain, but just makes it worse. Girl practically jumps on him to start drama. Smack. Poor dude gets owned. Then Sari just strolls off, chill as ever. She runs into Karen, her rival, who's munching on a candy apple in full yukata mode. Says if she had joined the contest, she'd have won. Karen didn't do the marathon out of respect for Sari. 'Cause winning without her wouldn't mean anything. But, classic tsundere, she gives some random excuse for being at the festival. Sari tells her to make a wish while she's there. Karen refuses. Says it's a waste of time. Wishes never come true. Then she leaves. Sari finds her wish on the ground. To race Sarah and Amagami for real. Time passes, and the Tanabata festival at the Amagami shrine is a hit. But they're still stuck in the time loop. Uryu's in full panic mode, searching for answers on Google. Poor guy's losing it. Sari's practicing typing fast without looking at the keyboard. Like she always wanted. But Uryu's like, "Girl, not now," and pulls off her blindfold, and gets spooked by her puffy eyes. She's been crying like crazy but trying to act tough. Probably blaming herself for everything. Ryu pulls her close and tells her he'll be with her no matter what, so she doesn't need to carry this alone. And of course, someone sees them like this and flips out, already running off to tell Yuna. Sari, though, is genuinely happy Ryu's supporting her. Then he suggests trying both the festival and the marathon at once, so both of Sari's wishes can come true. But he's starting to realize, maybe that's not what she really wants. Still caught up in the loop mess, Uryu calls Miko for help to cheer for Asahi at the marathon and help juggle Tanabata at the same time. That's when Yumiko figures it out. None of this is actually Asahi's wish. It's all Uryu's. And he finally sees it. He's been selfish this whole time, only thinking about what he wants. All the ideas were his. Asahi just went along with it. And while it's sweet to want to help someone, he's gotta actually ask what they want. He needs to start thinking about Asahi's feelings too. That said, as a woman, Miko tells Rue he's being way too full of himself, thinking a girl's into him like that. She really lays it on him, and Rue's like, dang, maybe I messed up. Miko hits him with, a real man thinks about his partner, and that hits Rue hard. He's all flustered and ashamed of how clueless he's been. Dude literally starts banging his head against the wall and says he's gonna log off and actually think about what Sari wants. Meanwhile, Sari's in her room, deep in thought, feeling that heavy weight in her chest. She remembers the time she got offered a full scholarship to a fancy school, 'cause a scout thought she had serious talent to rep Japan globally. Her classmates were hyped when she told them, but said they couldn't handle living alone or far from family. It's tough. That stuck in Sari's mind. Plus all the feelings about staying close to her sisters, and the shrine where they all grew up, and the stuff her mentor said about her true dream. Now she's questioning everything. Like, who even is Sari, really? Then someone knocks at the door. She goes to open it, and bam! She screams. Rue runs up to see what's going on, and it's Karen, in a very sus position on top of Sari. Criminal-level anime energy right there. Bro, they're 14. Calm down, Japan. A few minutes earlier, Karen showed up at Sari's door and asked to come in. Once inside, full Karen mode activated, roasting how plain Sari's room was. Sari said she didn't expect Karen to be snooping, but assured her everything was fine. Karen hit back with, no need to pretend, then started undressing Sari for training. But before y'all get any dirty ideas, she was actually challenging Sari to a rematch. A real race. Sari was shook, and that's right when Rue walked in and started monologuing. Later, Karen and Sari are doing warm-ups for the big showdown, while Rue gets clowned on for being a total peeping Tom. Pure embarrassment. As punishment, Rue gets stuck being the timer for the race. Karen explains that, like a 10-kilometer marathon, whoever finishes 5 laps first wins. She adds that the loser has to do whatever the winner says. If she wins, Asahi has to quit running forever. That throws Sari off, but Karen's like, let's, go! Uryu gives the signal and boom, girls take off. Asahi's like, why do you want me to stop running? Karen says Sari never beat her record 'cause she got lazy. While Sari was chilling, Karen was grinding to catch up. She didn't want to keep chasing someone who's not serious. To Karen, running to win became something special because of Sari. But it wasn't the same for Sari, so Karen was determined to beat her once and for all. And to Uryu's total shock, Karen destroys Sari and breaks her record. It means Karen doesn't have to chase her anymore. When Karen says Sari should stop running now, Sari argues the race didn't count. Karen calls that an excuse, but Sari says it wasn't fair to say something that made her lose focus. Karen disagrees, so Sari goes straight to the point. Girl-to-girl talk. Sari explains she once thought of quitting running for the shrine. But no matter what she chose, she only got more confused. When she saw Karen cross that finish line and realized she might never run again, she figured out she liked being someone's goal. She wanted someone to admire her like a grown-up. That made it as special as her shrine duties. Sari suggests they run together again, July 7th, for real this time. No more doubts. Karen gets fired up by Sari's determination and says, fine, I'll kick your butt again in the marathon. Rue cuts in, asking if Sari needs his cheer squad again. Sari's like, nah, Ken's chin might distract me this time. Rue dies inside. He realizes how unnecessary he is, but then Sari thanks him for always trying to make her happy, and promises to go back to being the spoiled little sister he loves taking care of. Rue lights up, though he admits there's something a little taboo about this sibling vibe. A few days later, Sari sends a pic of her and Karen holding up gold medals. The next day, Asahi and Uryu finally celebrate. It's July 8th, which means they broke the time loop. Rue's pumped to get back to studying but grumbles about swearing to always stay by her side. He asks if she's sad she doesn't get to keep him all to herself now. Sari says she's more curious about what their thing really is now. Then Yuna barges in, yelling, they're being too loud for the neighbors. She tells Sari there's no time to slack off. They've got another Tanabata to prep for. Sari's confused, so Tidal explains, from this year on, there'll be 2 Tanabatas, July 7 and August 7th. Apparently, Yomiko ran the plan past everyone. Tidor tells Sari she's in charge of the next event as head of publicity. Sari agrees, excited. Finally, internal vibes are in balance. August 7 rolls in, and the girls get booths to write new wishes. Crowds gather, calling them super cute, and Ru's shocked they managed to bring in so many people. Yuna wonders if it's okay for shrine maidens to cosplay on shrine grounds. But even she seems to be having fun in her pop priestess outfit. Later, Sari's proud of a job well done. The girls agree they couldn't have pulled it off without her. Sari gets all shy at the praise, and Yai points out how much she acts like a little sis now. Sari and Yuna laugh, calling her a stubborn head. Yai hugs her and says she's glad Sari finally opened up. Asahi realizes her sister always looked after her, and says she's happy to be the baby sister. When the festival wraps, Miko shows up to surprise Asahi. Asahi thanks her for organizing the second Tanabata. But Yumiko says it wasn't her idea, and remembers Uryu came to her asking if a second festival was possible. Miko told him it'd be tough. He'd have to convince all the vendors and even that one snake. But he looked dead serious. As Yumiko tells this, Asahi's embarrassed Uryu did all that for her. Miko asks her to keep it a secret. Then Uryu shows up like, "Hey, what are you two whispering about?" Asahi panics, says, "Nothing," and runs off before he sees her blushing face. After she leaves, Ru thanks Miko for helping make Sari's wish come true, but Miko insists they made it through the challenges on their own. Then Ru asks something weird. How many Tanabatas have actually happened so far? Miko pretends not to know. Later, Yumiko prays at the shrine and tells a deity she jokes around too much. A masked figure proves her right. Meanwhile, Sari posts online and calls Asahi to watch the fireworks with her. A huge festival is going on outside, and every guy is drooling over the sisters. Magami and Sarinoto assume they're just talking about Yuna and Asahi, who dressed up nicely, unlike Sari, who looks like some random uncle playing kids' games, and Yuna's off drooling over cotton candy. That all changes when Sari suggests a great spot to watch the fireworks. But she spots a pair of girls behind her, and bolts, embarrassed. Ru finds her, realizing they got separated. He takes her to a quieter spot, and Sari feels her heart beating faster. They stop by a lake to wait for the others, and Ru apologizes for being so arrogant during the time loop. Sari says without him, she wouldn't have seen all the paths that helped her choose. Just then, the fireworks start. Sari teases that it'd be the perfect moment for Ru to fall for her. Ru deadpans that he feels nothing. Sari realizes he only did all that for her because he sees her as a sister, and if he picked a partner, it'd never be her. But when the final firework lights up the sky, Sari grabs Ru and kisses him. He's stunned. She confesses she loves him, and swears she'll win the next race for him too. The other girls finally find them, and Sari goes to join them while Ru is left questioning reality. The next day, Ru heads to the exam center. He remembers the kiss and tries to brush it off, until the memory hits him again, and he crashes into a vending machine. He recalls his plan to enter Sinoto University and become a doctor. To do that, he needs his mock exam results. He imagines he aced it, again. But instead he finds Shira staring him down. Ru can't believe it. Shira asks what he's doing there. Turns out she's also aiming for med school, and has been secretly taking cram classes too. She guesses he got a B and teases him, waving her A score in his face and claiming she's ahead now. She says he's too distracted by 3 cute girls to win against an A ranker. Later Ru sulks, swearing he'll prove her wrong. But he's also kinda relieved after seeing his low score. Soon the girls show up at his room and are surprised he's not there. Yuna remembers him saying something about Mahiru's place, and figures today might be the day. Sari seems relieved but admits she's been avoiding him. Sari denies it, but just then they find a crumpled piece of paper. Meanwhile, Ru visits the shrine with Mahiru and the kids. Mahiru asks if he's gotten used to shrine life. Ru admits, "There's some weird supernatural stuff going on sometimes." Mahiru just wants to know which girl he likes most. Ru says he's not mature enough to choose. Mahiru points out the girls are basically throwing themselves at him. Ru asks how she knows that. Mahiru blames a little bird. It was probably Yumiko. Ru says he appreciates their feelings and wants them to be happy, but exams are near, and he doesn't have time for kisses. Mahiru tells him he still needs to respond to their feelings and asks what his plans for the future are. Rue asks what she means. Mahiru says he's drifting without a plan. Rue reflects and decides he'll graduate from Kyoto University and become a doctor, just like in his dreams. Suddenly, the kids clap at a grave, but Rue corrects them. Clapping is for gods. For the dead, you press your hands quietly in respect. Mahiru teases him for knowing that. He says he had to learn it because the girls care so much. Mahiru says he's really changed. Rue says a grave proves the dead don't come back, and that's why he doesn't like praying for them. He wants to become a doctor so the kids won't need to pray. Though he wants to protect the shrine for the girls, he has no intention of inheriting it. Suddenly, Rue thinks he sees something behind the trees. Mahiru snaps him out of it and says he'd make a good priest. When Rue gets back to the shrine, the girls are burning something. They explain it's a ceremonial fire to guide spirits. Sari is burning a letter to their mom. The girls remind him to pray for his mom too. Rue says it's fine. He just visited her grave. The girls release their lanterns and tell his mom she's not alone. Yuna tells her how hard-working Rue is. Yai calls him a lazy goof, but happy, and Sari says he always helps and can be trusted. They thank her for bringing him into their lives. Then Rue looks at the clothesline and sees his mom smiling at them. Before the clothes are mysteriously blown away by the wind. The girls notice tears on Rue's face as he looks in that direction. They're surprised he's crying, but he says it's just dust in his eyes. The girls gather around him, patting his head, and Katori says, "This is the perfect moment," and they all agree. Rue asks what the heck they're talking about, and they drag him inside to reveal Tawari Amagami's secret. Years ago, she arrived at the shrine and met Sarah. They had different names back then, like Yae, but from that day on, they became sisters, blessed with love by the shrine maiden and their new mom, Auntie Amagami. Back in the present, the girls explain they're not real sisters. Rue says he's known that for a while now. They ask how he's so chill about it, and he remembers meeting Ai in the past. Yuna asks if he's curious about their real names, or biological moms, but Rue says he doesn't need to know. He already knows how kind Auntie was by how close they all are. The girls say it's so like him to act that way, and that's why they need to move on to their next plan. The next day, Sari offers to help Rue with laundry. She brings up her confession but knows he's got exams, and no time for steamy fantasies. Rue apologizes for not having an answer. Sari says she just wanted him to know she loves him. Later, Rue goes to clean Ai's room, but is shocked by how empty it looks, like it's the end times. He compliments her for cleaning, but the closet behind her looks ready to explode. Ai says she was about to start cleaning for real and asks him to leave, but thanks him for everything. In the hallway, Rue finds Yuna cooking curry. And miraculously, it doesn't look radioactive or alive. He compliments her and tells her to work on speed. She says that's why she's prepping early. Over time, the girls take on more chores, and Rue finally admits they've changed. And so has he. One morning, they all eat Yuna's breakfast, and Rue says it'd be a huge help if she keeps cooking. The girls thank him for everything, but say it's time to say goodbye. That day, at the community shrine, the girls heard Rue say he couldn't inherit the shrine. As they talked, they realized something. Just like their dream is to protect the shrine, his dream is to protect the orphanage kids as a doctor. So they agreed to set him free. Sari asked if I was okay with it. I said that loving him means supporting him. Sari said the same, and that she'd finished what she had to do. Rue couldn't believe it. The girls had already started packing before he could even argue. Once they were done, Rue remembered all the chores they used to do, and then it hit him. They were preparing to leave. The girls promised to find another heir and told him to chase his dream, while they kept praying for him. Rue thought about the past days, how he learned to pray for his mom. At last, he agreed. He thanked them and started to leave. But after a few steps, turned back and offered himself as a tribute, to be the shrine heir. He admits he was wrong about God, and realizes that a prayer for someone can become your own strength. His new dream, to save lives as a doctor and hearts as a priest. That's why he wants to inherit Amagami Shrine. After confirming he's serious, the girls jump on him asking if he can really balance med school and priesthood, and who he's planning to marry. Uryu promises to think about it later. and they all tease him for being such a lady killer. Next day, Uryu wakes up with a cold, so Yuna takes care of him and brings porridge. He tries it. Yuna apologizes if it's not great, but he wolfs it down and says it's perfect, making her smile. Then Uryu notices the thermometer's out of battery and asks if she has another. But instead, Yuna grabs his face and touches her forehead to his. Rue tells her she's way too close, but Yuna doesn't seem to care. Moments later, Rue wakes up thinking it was just a dream. Yuna would never do that. But then he sees the empty bowl and Yuna hiding behind the door, asking herself why she got that close when she's supposed to focus on the shrine. She even wonders if she'll catch a fever tomorrow. Next day, Sari asks if Rue's feeling better. He says yeah, but jokes a brain parasite attacked him. Ai brings up something she messed up, and Yuna corrects her. Everyone wonders what's up with her. Then Ai whispers something in Rue's ear, and Sari suddenly kisses his cheek, sending all his internal guards into DEFCON 1. Yai jokes that maybe Yuna's weird behavior means she's hiding something. Yu quickly says to leave Yuna to him. He's got the biggest hero complex anyway. They check on Yuna, but now her hair looks like a bird's nest. Ai starts to suspect. Could Yuna be in love? Rue remembers something. He heard a noise and found Yuna collapsed on the floor. Everyone rushed to help, but Yuna insisted she was fine and could handle it. Annoyed, Rue grabbed her, felt her forehead, and realized the idiot just had a fever. They figure she must have caught his cold. That explains the weird behavior. They tell her to rest, but Yuna refuses to be a burden. So Yai headbutts her to knock some sense in. Ai scolds her, don't overdo it. They have enough help already. Then Yuna totally loses it, starts crying, and says being the heir is way too much for her, so she feels like she's got to work harder for him. Uryu snaps her back to reality. If you push yourself more, then we'll have to push even more. He says watching her dedication makes him want to give his all to the shrine too. The girls agree, and Yuna finally jumps on Uryu's back asking for a piggyback ride to her room. She promises to rest but warns, once I'm better, I'm making you guys work twice as hard. That night, Yuna says, I'm all better now. But the girls don't buy it. She remembers that a new term starts the next day and prays not to get sick again. Right after her prayer, that creepy masked entity touches her head. Next morning, Sari totally freaks out. Rue walks into the bathroom like nothing, while she's still inside. He apologizes, but she offers him an interesting view before he slams the door shut, annoyed. At school, Mitsuko announces the class play. The Body Swap. It's about a shy prince and a tomboy princess who live as the opposite gender. The girls pick Uryu to play the princess, since he's basically the only girl in the room anyway. They say he'd look super cute in a dress. Yuna glares at him, but Rue accepts the role. She yells, I don't want to see you cross-dressing. When the girls start offering to be his partner, Yuna quickly volunteers herself. After class, Mitsuko tells her she was going to be the princess no matter what. 'Cause everyone knows you two are dating, right? Yuna denies it, but Mitsuko laughs. I've seen you two sneaking glances and leaving alone together. Yuna realizes this is a huge misunderstanding while Mitsuko promises to make time for them to smooch. Back home, Sari's pumped for the play. She tries to act chill, but notices Rue already getting into character, even sitting differently. She asks why he said yes, and he says, didn't want to be rude. And hey, at least Yuna's my partner. Sari gets jealous, but Rue reassures them. It's not what you think. In the bath, Yuna tries not to get too excited. Later, Uryu calls her, still shocked about the play. Rue reminds her he's the one who agreed. But hey, at least we'll fool everyone for now. They promise not to tell anyone about the body swap. After the call, Uryu and Yuna both rant about the weird stuff happening, while the masked entity watches in silence. It all started 2 days ago when Uryu woke up at the shrine and felt a strange heaviness in her chest. She rushed inside, only to find she was in Yuna's body. She ran to Yuna's room and found the real Yuna in her body. They made a quick plan. Rue wondered how Yuna was so calm. She admitted she was freaking out inside, but changed the topic. They agreed to act like each other and Google physiology differences. Uryu got shocked by seeing a real sausage, not the ones she practiced with. Meanwhile, Yuna suffered the torture of the monthly hell. When she pulled it out, she almost bled to death. Since then, their lives became a nightmare, and everyone noticed something was off. They couldn't wait to get back to normal. One night, Rue suggested telling the girls it would solve 99% of the problem. But before he could finish, Sari scolded them for flirting and told them to get back to work. Uryu told Yuna they could talk at dinner and left her with Sari. Sari, jealous, got close to who she thinks is Uryu. "You've been spending a lot of time with Yuna lately. What do you think of her?" Meanwhile, Ai approaches the fake Yuna and asks, "What were you talking about with Rue?" "Fake Rue, actually." Fake Rue replies, "We're family, right?" Sarah lights up, thinking she still has a chance to be his girlfriend. Fake Rue can't believe that just happened, and Sarah gets all happy, thinking it was a confession. "Let's keep it our little secret, okay?" At the same time, fake Yuna, Rue, lies. "I was just showing her around the shrine." Ai says, "Leave her to me. I already know how you feel." Fake Yuna goes pale and Ai's like, "Whoa, why the face? I already knew. Just don't tell Yuna. She sucks at keeping secrets." With that, Yuna and Uryu swear never to tell the girls about the body swap. Later, Uryu decides they have to find a way to switch back, without anyone figuring it out. Should be easy, since their family hasn't noticed a thing. Except, Mitsuko might be onto something. Then Uryu and Yuna practice lines from the play with Mitsuko, who says they're nailing the gender swap. Suddenly, a classmate reminds them the practical test is next week. Rue remembers Yuna sucks at English, so he mentally says goodbye to his good grades. Later, Rue finds her studying like crazy and tells her to chill out. But Yuna insists she doesn't want his grades to suffer. That fries Rue's brain. He's being pressured by his own body. He says it's fine if he gets a bad grade. But Yuna keeps cramming like mad. Then fake Rue practices English, and Ai says, "Wow, you're working hard." Uryu asks if she heard what he just said. She didn't, but then goes, "We're counting on you for the Saturday prayer." Yuna asks what to do, and Ai tells her to do the prayer dance. Fake Rue freaks out about messing it up. Sari and Ai wonder why Yuna is practicing so much. She already does it perfectly. Yuna insists on improving always. The girls praise her dedication, while fake Yuna laughs nervously. Turns out, now that Rue sees how airheaded Yuna normally is, she must really be working hard to do this right. And now he doesn't want to ruin her rep. Then, Uryu remembers her words, and realizes neither of them want to screw up what they've worked so hard to build. The next day, Yuna groans from body aches. Mitsuko asks if she became an athlete but jokes it's probably Ryu's fault. Yuna denies they're dating, but Mitsuko teases that it's easier now since they found the heir to the sanctuary. Mitsuko is surprised, and Uryu is shocked that Yuna didn't tell her. Yuna apologizes, but Mitsuko cuts in. "Who are you? You're not Yuna." Uryu tries to explain, but Mitsuko thinks it's an evil spirit and tries to exorcise her. While Uryu wonders why Yuna isn't happy about the heir, suddenly a masked entity touches the fake Ryu, who ends up in a strange neighborhood. Back in his own body, Ryu remembers the mask from when he fell off the cliff and wonders if it's her doing or if he's going crazy. He finds a strange key in his pocket. Meanwhile, Aina returns to her body during Mitsuko's exorcism. She says she was joking about the heir in the temple. Yuna says it's good to be back to normal, but Uri shows the mysterious key. Aina says it's hers, and will take it to the police. Uri returns it, and asks why she didn't tell Mitsuko. She says she forgot. He asks if she's against him being the heir, but Yuna says only his work matters. Uri thinks he understood her, but since they swapped bodies, he's seen her anew. He begs to know more, keeping her awake. Ya and Sarah appear, giving them dirty looks, saying they're too close. Uryu curses his luck. That night, Uri reflects on Una's contradictions and wonders if he'd discover more by swapping bodies again. Then the masked spirit appears beside him. The next day, Ryu wakes up as Yuna again. Ina helps him put on the bra, and he talks about the fox-masked woman. Una thinks it must be the temple god, and says she envies him for seeing the god while her overflowing breasts. The fox god makes them swap bodies again, and both panic. The god laughs at the prank. At school, Oryu in Yuna's body thinks about what the god wants and sees a job catalog. He can't imagine Yuna in a normal job and wonders if she doesn't want to stay at the temple. Remembers her saying her will doesn't matter and thinks, does she have another dream? Mitsuka appears and asks what he's reading. Ru lies, saying he's thinking about the future. Mitsuku accuses, you're not Yuno. He fumbles, saying he lost his memory. Mitsuku believes him and says, why didn't you tell me? We're best friends. Ryu says he envies her for knowing Yuna so well. Mitsuku says Yuna also hides things and plans to tell all. They go to the secret hideout, and Mitsuku says she met Yuna as a child when she stole dangos from her family's shop. After Yuna's mom died, Mitsuko saw her suffering and forced the dangos down her throat. They became inseparable best friends. Mitsuko showed the hideout and her dream of running the shop, but when she asked Yuna's dream, she changed her demeanor. In the present, Mitsuko shows a list of Yuna's wishes. Uryu has a chance to see but declines. Mitsuki then confesses she knew he was Uryu because strange things happen in this city. Uryu asks why she brought him there. Mitsuku says she wanted to meet another version of Yuna. At that moment, Ru decides it's not worth snooping like this and tells the god, enough hide and seek. The god makes them return to their normal bodies, and Ru insists they'll manage on their own now. Later, Yuna goes to eat Mitsuko's dangos, while Mitsuko discovers that Ryu was chosen as the sanctuary heir. After some small talk, Ryu asks what she wants to do, as he doesn't know. Then comes a flashback. When Tio, her mom, was alive, Yuna asked why the sanctuary had fewer festivals. Tio explained that Tidor was old and couldn't handle it anymore. Una asked what to do, and Tio joked about becoming a priestess. Una insisted the old man retire and she take over. She said God would be lonely, but deep down, she just wanted to eat sweets all day. After Tio died, Inauna told Mitsuko her dream of becoming a priestess, and made plans to revitalize the sanctuary. In the present, Yuna is embarrassed by her childish dreams, but Yuri is surprised it's something noble, not beneath him as he thought. She explains that being a female priestess is hard, since Ru wants the position. He's the sanctuary's best chance. That's why she gave up. Ru understands she's seeking a new future. He tells Mitsuko she didn't tell because she's ashamed, as Mitsuko pursues her own dreams. Mitsuko thinks she's silly and asks if she's sure. Ryu cuts in, and Una just makes excuses, thinking she's unworthy. He teases, saying he wouldn't leave the position to someone so pathetic, and she explodes. The goal isn't just to bring people back but to make them pray again. Ru asks how she suggests doing that. Selling divine dangos with Mitsuko? Uri mocks. That's just to expand your waistline. He realizes Una is afraid of attracting more luck for being selfish, so she challenges him. Una throws out ideas. Cat shelter, dango festival, more festivals. She'd be the poster girl and make cute prizes. After the speech, Ina says she doesn't deserve the position, that she'll be his boss. Ui accepts the challenge. You'd probably set the lab on fire as a scientist anyway. While they argue, Mitsuko concludes, they really do seem like a couple. Days later at the school festival, the place is packed with boys. Mitsuko teases Ryu, saying someone might steal Yuna. Ryu realizes it's worse since she's a famous shrine maiden. He hears a commotion and runs, giving a lesson to a bratty kid. Ryu asks what she's doing there. She explains she got separated from Sarsaryu. Ru thinks, everyone here shares a single brain cell, these sisters, huh? He offers help, and she grabs his hand, saying it's to keep guys away from her. In the maze, she begs to enter, and Uryu falls for her pleading look. Flashback, Aja said she loves him. Uri accepts while Yuna watches from afar. Mitsuko calls Yuna, who agrees to go but keeps an eye out. Later, Ru and I exit the maze, and Mary Ru calls, I caught the single brain cell disease. I lost Sari. Uri goes to look for her and leaves. Meanwhile, a random girl shouts she wants to be with the guy at the festival. Sari, alone, laments her failed secret date plan. Without battery, she accepts it wasn't meant to be. Then she hears a girl shouting a love confession and gets an idea. She runs through the festival and threatens, come to the rooftop or I'll reveal your secret. He flies like he's avoiding commitment. Up there, Sari says, my phone died. Ryu relaxes, but she pulls him. I want a festival date. Yuna hears and remembers Sari likes him. She tries to convince herself she doesn't care, but her feelings say otherwise. Later, girls praise Yuna's stage outfits. A student asks if they'll kiss since it happens a lot in such stories, but Mitsuku cuts in saying, "In the original story, it's about overcoming difficulties, returning to original genders, and following dreams." Meanwhile, Mahiru and the others wait for the play to start. Shira appears and they tease, "It's rare to see Uryu cross-dressing." Backstage, Ru meets Yasari, but wonders why Shira came. Ina asks if he noticed their feelings. Uryu replies, "I don't have time to think about marriage." The curtain rises, and Uryu and Yuna shine in the play. In her speech, Yuna talks about accepting oneself and living your life. Ori whispers, "You did your best," leaving her in shock. After all, Shira is sweating like a popsicle in hell, and feels she's gained another rival. When she sees Shira disappear, backstage, Uryu is relieved it's over, and Una blushes at the handshake. Uryu teases her but stops when he sees her dazed look. Yuna flees to the rooftop. Yuna tries to get salt to purify her heart that beats fast near Ryu. Mitsuki appears and says, "That's not impurity, it's love." Meanwhile, Shira makes mashed potatoes and receives a text from Uryu to study together the next day. Ru remembers how the sisters act with him and wonders if he likes them. Shirai notices. Sari appears with drinks, almost slips, and Ru saves her. Shira gets jealous and says she's going to the bathroom. Then Ai shows up to pick her up and pressures Shirahi for pics of Uryu. Shira realizes the sisters want to devour the guy. She feels she's lost her special place with him. Back home, Uryu and Yuna are arguing. He leans close, forehead to forehead, making her red as a chili pepper. Shira feels worse. Later, Shira tries inviting Uryu out, but hears the sisters fighting. He refuses, stabbing her heart. At home, Shira reflects. Uryu changed. I've got no space in his life anymore. She gets a text about the wish-granting shrine. Gets an idea. Next day, the group visits Kuragami Shrine. Uryu's dead tired while the girls are chill. He asks their wishes. Yuna wants Dango with Uryu daily. Sari wants to win marathons and date him. And Yai wants a date with him dancing like some hip-hop dude. Later, Uryu dreams of marrying one holding a bouquet. Arriving, the place is creepy. Yuna freaks over a crow. Uryu sees something but ignores it. They pray. Uryu mutes. Don't need God to get into Uni. Heading back, they reveal their real wish, staying together. Hidden, Shirahi prays the sisters get replaced by her. Uryu feels weird, wakes at home seeing Shirahi in the shower, with bigger melons. He bolts to the shrine, but the sisters treat him like a stranger. He crashes on the sofa, destroyed, seeing how deep in the fudge he is. Shirahi gets close, plants a kiss on his cheek. Uryu short-circuits. While he's clueless as a blind man in a shootout, Shirahi tells him to open up. Then, bam, Shirahi announces, "We're dating now." Uryu's in a nightmare where the priestess sisters forgot him, calling him a gross creep. He wakes up covered in doodles. Shira went wild trying to wake him. Dude's still stuck in that dimension where he's dating. Shira and the shrine maidens literally don't exist. At breakfast with Mahiru and Shira, the doc says Uryu must be too exhausted, talking about shrines. Overstudying's bad too. Uryu claims he's fine. Mahiru says he can stay at the foster home till graduation. He'll even attend Shira's school since Amagami Shrine never existed here. He's just model student Uryu. Snack time. Shira spoils him with nigiri like a doting GF. He's all grumpy and scowling, which makes Shira beam. He stares blankly. Quit eyeballing me. Want a night party or something? Home alone, Uryu draws the priestesses with max skill. Ever seen them? Shira says she's never met these yokai, roasting his art. Tells him to see Mahiru. You've been spouting weird crap. Uryu's done. My real self belongs in another world. With the priestess sisters, that's my family. Shira flinches. That's some breakup hint? She storms off. Mahiru walks in on the drama. Ryu, gotta read the room. Flashback. When Shira first came to the orphanage after her parents' accident, awkward kid Uryu sat with her till she stopped crying. Since then, she idolized his never-quit attitude. Studied like mad to catch up to him. Present day, Uryu copies their childhood move, sits by Shira, apologizes. She brightens, leans on him. Cute couple? Nah fam, hands off. He belongs to the Shrine Maidens. Uryu spots Sari on a jog. She bolts cause he looks like a stalker freak. He chases her, but can't keep up. Sari's a marathon beast. She bursts home screaming, "Help! I drop kicks Uryu." Yuna's ready to salt purify his creepy ass and call the cops. Then Sari notices. He just wanted to return her hair ribbon. Uryu explains his story. "Even if I never go back, I'll always help you priestesses. Can't lose our bond. I remember Shim helping her years ago." The shrine's closing. Shira comes looking for him. Uryu reveals he helped her find this shrine. The other two side-eye getting all lovey-dovey. He drops the bomb. "I love all three of you." Cue shocked Pikachu faces. Yuna's already salting this shameless playboy. Uryu thanks their hospitality. As he leaves, door opens. Soaked, Shirahi stands there with a terrifying glare. The sisters ask if he knows her. "Sorry about my clumsy boyfriend." They let Shirahi in for a hot bath. "Don't catch cold." Interrogation mode. "You claim to love us three but have a GF? And you didn't tell us?" I gasps. "He'll get cancelled." "Please no. Cancel culture's the internet's worst invention." Uryu faceplants the table. "When I got here, Shira was already my GF. Wasn't gonna cheat with you priestesses." Ya shrugs. "Then dump her." But it's not that simple. She cares about him deeply. Yuna knows Uryu's trying to be nice to her, but this niceness is really for his sake, not Shirahi's. Yuna lays down the law. Separate rooms. No hanky-panky in the shrine. Uryu's back in his usual room, weirdly hyped. Shirahi shows up wanting to sleep together till he dozes off. Uryu lets her in to talk, but she causes chaos in just a shirt. "Wherever we study for exams works." Sucker fell for it. The other three eavesdrop quietly. Almost got juicy. They sneak back to their rooms. Uryu wants a real talk with Shira. Knows she changed their world. Shira's cornered. Admits she wished to Kuragami for Uryu to be hers, not the priestesses. Uryu apologizes for asking harshly. "I should have seen your feelings sooner." Shira bursts into tears, screaming with guilt. "You never knew, 'cause I never told you. Don't apologize." She was scared watching him with the priestesses, terrified of losing her place beside him. He thanks her for the honesty. Plot twist. The three nosy Parkers were spying hard on the serious convo. Uryu thanks them for the crash space. Before heading home, Uryu and Shira stop for luck charms. Shira helps the sisters. Too many worshippers. She's shockingly good as a temp priestess. Now she gets why Uryu loved this place. The girls low-key wanna hire her full-time. Later, Shira apologizes for warping reality for her selfish wish. The sisters hug, comfort her. Zero blame. Time to return to their original world. Shirahi doesn't know how, but they'll figure it out. Next day, Shira and Uryu watch the priestesses' public dance. Shira sees their beauty, and Uryu's lovesick stare. He says nothing, but she knows. Later, Yomiko arrives to help. She totally gets their dimension-hopping drama. Shira's shocked, she believes them so fast. Yomiko says, "Divine guidance works in mysterious ways." Eyes, thrilled by Yomiko's wisdom, wants her to bring livestock. Wait, devotees, to the shrine. Yomiko can't solve it but can assist. Sari says this sci-fi stuff is wild, but Yomiko insists shrine workers must know this stuff. What Uryu, Shira, experienced is fate entanglement. Gods weave bonds connecting native worlds to branched ones, aka the multiverse. A bond is any connection between people. The red string of fate, chosen at birth. A couple's bond can branch into infinite possibilities across worlds. The deities know all versions. They can link worlds. One where you can't be with someone, and one where you can. Q blank stares, especially from the priestesses. I even dozed off. Yomiko says if they want to go home, Uryu and Shira must visit the wish-granting deity, Kuragami. She'll pray for them. Uryu asks Yomiko, "Why do I remember the other world if Shira wished it away?" Yomiko dodges. Too soon for answers. Uryu suspects she knew him in that world. She plays dumb. But Uryu's sure she remembers everything, even Sari's time loop wish. Is she really on their side? Yomiko reveals, "I serve the deities. Before you decide anything, Uryu, remember how cruel what you're doing really is." Then Uryu and Shirahi meet the deity Kuragami, who's got this Sero mask thing. Shirahi prays for Kuragami to send them back home, even if she gets punished. Kuragami asks if she won't regret it, and Shirahi says nope, but Uryu butts in, saying this feels way too easy. Something's fishy. Kuragami then drops the bomb. It won't end well, cause when they get back, their bond has gotta break. Uryu's now stuck on what to do. He spills his true feelings to Shirahi. He wants to go back to make the priestess sisters happy. Even though he's fuzzy if it's romantic love or just brotherly, he knows his wish to see them got crazy strong when the world changed. Uryu wants to stay with Yae, Asa, and Yuna forever. He needs to make them happy, won't let anyone else do it. Keeping the bond between all four of them is his top priority now. After hearing Uryu's raw, honest feelings, Shirahi decides they are going back home. Deity Kuragami makes it happen, and Shirahi ain't scared their bond will break. They'll just make a new one later. Now Uryu wakes up in his usual room and bolts out, searching for those girls. He throws open a door and finds them, kinda half-naked, just like in episode 1 when they first met. This crazy dude with all his audacity. Then Uryu starts crying and gets a nosebleed at the same time. Happy in both ways, if you catch my drift. Later, there's a huge cookout, for everyone who mattered that season. That snake from before? Even Karen, Sarah's friend? All of them, ending with a killer BBQ, my dude. It was a solid season, a good romance anime. Personally, I like the main cast, but tell me, who are your top 3 characters? If you stuck around till the end, drop a like. Subscribe to find gorgeous priestesses like these. Hit that bell so you don't miss anything from the channel. Check the description and the card up top for more recaps, sketchy or maybe not. Thanks for the constant support, and peace out.